emerge from the Western Conference playoff logjam with a win when they take on the Lakers tonight. No time for the Yotes to mope after their 4-game winning streak ended with yesterday's loss to the Jets. They're in Edmonton tonight to take on the Oilers. Rumors of Bobby Hurley's potential departure to the Big East were quelled after Arizona State signed their men's basketball coach to a 2-year extension. Guard Kerr Kriisa is leaving the Arizona men's basketball program. He's entering the transfer portal. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Continued showers across Arizona today with a chance of rain in the Phoenix area and snow in our higher elevations. Eastern Arizona, get ready for it because you will receive additional snowfall. We'll see a high of 66 degrees here today, 66 for your Thursday, Friday, 69. I'm Celeste Rodriguez with your Fox 10 weather experts.
This report is sponsored by Brakemasters.
It doesn't matter what you drive, it's how you get there. Brakemasters doesn't care. We've seen it all and fixed it all. Get your vehicle in Brakemaster shape today. Download coupons and schedule an appointment from your smartphone.
Brakemaster. We give you an honest break. Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch is proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 10.
Hey, everybody, we say good afternoon to you as we are hanging out live, always better than the alternative, at Wright Toyota, just right on the price. All you got to do, drive into Scottsdale, Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and you will find us. We've got a great little set here. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, also 99.9 HD FM, and the iHeart Radio app as well. It's Jimmy B, it's Manuch, it's Jax, it's Richie back in the studio. Fellas, we've got a little basketball game tonight, and I want to get into some of that, but I also want to get into the Cardinals and, of course, what we witnessed last night in the World Baseball Classic because, Manuch, it was phenomenal last night.
I think baseball might have taken a huge step forward again last night.
Man.
When you think, guys, that baseball really, that was captivating, it was exciting. Let me tell you, a movie script could not have designed that last at-bat and pitcher with Trout and Ohtani, the two teammates, maybe the best baseball player on earth right now being Trout, and maybe the second best baseball player, all-around baseball player in Ohtani, throwing sliders at 90 miles an hour, throwing a split fastball at 100 miles an hour, not to mention his regular fastball at 100 miles an hour. But was that theater?
It was awesome.
At its finest?
Just awesome.
That was like, okay, we couldn't script this.
No.
And it was interesting because they were talking about, hey, if Ohtani comes in, which he was, to be the closer in the bottom.
You knew that was going to happen.
They went through they went, okay, you got so-and-so, so-and-so, and you went, Trout. You got 9, 1, and 2. You went, oh, my gosh. Could you only imagine if there's a runner on or Trout's there to tie it up, just the drama that it was. And we saw a lot of great pitching, a lot of great defense.
Sensational.
Merrill Kelly struggled a little bit, but that was like the price of admission to see those two go at it.
I'm with you 100%. Hey, we're at Wright Toyota today. Manuch, we're hanging out here. They've got cars galore. It's awesome here right now. Certified pre-owns are here. Also, the brand new cars, all you got to do is just come out, and they will take great care of you here at Wright Toyota. All right, Richie, let's go.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, there's a little hoop game that's going to take place in Southern California later tonight.
Yeah, way to downplay the hell out of that one,
Jimmy. Dude. Just a little hoop game.
Yeah, it's just the Lakers and Suns.
That's all.
Yeah, they're fighting for seeding, positioning.
The Lakers are fighting to get back into the playoffs is what they're trying to do.
As far as we know, obviously, LeBron James is out, and he may be out for a while.
That's what they're saying.
We don't know if Davis is going to play yet or not. We have not heard that he's not.
Day-to-day is what I just saw listed. Day-to-day.
So we'll see. I mean, I think this is great, guys, because they're both playing for something. The Suns with 11 games, the Lakers with 10 games to go, and that's what you want in the NBA. And it always comes down to, Jimmy, and you know this better than anybody, the last 3 minutes of a game in close-knit games when guys are looking for their seeding and their positioning and to stay out of the play-in game, which the Lakers are fighting their buns off to stay out of the play-in game. Or if they're in the play-in game, will LeBron be back for the play-in game?
There's a lot of questions. DeAndre Ayton will be out again tonight with the hip injury. That's why he missed also at Oklahoma City. So there's a lot on the line in this game. The Lakers need to win, so they are right now in 11th spot, and they could climb once again back into that 7 through 10 spot with a victory tonight. The Suns, on the other hand, don't look now, but Oklahoma City is breathing down their neck.
Yeah, they are. And with DA out and with the matchups that the Suns are going to have tonight, we're going to catch up with Tim Kempton, the Suns radio analyst here at 1:30. I'm just curious as to see who he starts. Is it Biyombo? Is it Landale? Is it Jock? Who's it going to be?
I think it's going to be determined a lot if Anthony Davis plays as well.
I would say that, and you just wonder who would be the better matchup against him. You want somebody that's big and strong. You want somebody that's quick because he's a hybrid.
He is.
He's a big guy, can run the floor, he can shoot. So I think with Jock Landale and Bismack Biyombo, you wonder which two. So maybe Tim will have some updated news for us in LA. But as far as Davis, it sounds as though that may not be a go or no go until tip time.
That is correct. The Coyotes lost last night, snapped their winning streak. They lost 2-1 to the Winnipeg Jets.
Wait a second.
What's that?
It's kind of an oxymoron. You said the Coyotes lost last night. They snapped their winning streak. I'm sorry, folks. I had to let that digest a little bit.
I see where you were going with that, big man.
You get 8 points. You get 6 in a row.
Yeah.
You get stopped. What the hell's wrong with this team all of a sudden? Not so much from not tanking, but oh my gosh, how could they lose with something like that? But just the way you said, Coyotes lost. Damn it!
Yeah, really
snapped their winning streak.
I figure Rock right now is cheering. He's listening to the show, going, "Yeah, tank!"
Oh,
I can hear it right now.
Hey, you know what? Good for them.
Oh, absolutely. They're playing their hearts
for
out.
them, and I love seeing that. They're playing hard. They're seeing all this youth come to fruition, experience,
right?
Great goalie play. They're in the games. They're not getting blown out. And they're all over the place. And Clayton Keller right now.
He's a great player.
You know, he's got to be
he's great.
Player of the month or whatever as well as he's playing. But yeah, you just hope that, you know, if they can maintain that kind of progress, I guess, for the next 3 weeks until the end of the season. And then if they've got the 6th pick, the 8th, the 9th pick, whatever, I think it's a successful season for what these guys had.
So they play in Edmonton tonight, the Coyotes do, as they continue their swing through the Great White North, commonly known as Canada. In college basketball, Bobby Hurley gets a 2-year contract extension from ASU. Right move, wrong move?
Oh, no, good move.
Okay.
Good for ASU. And I think Bobby realizes, hey, look, what we've done the last 3 years as far as growing this program is something that I'm sure he took a good hard look at. 2-year extension, because you stop and think, okay, what's here, what's there? You got Patino moving on, you got a lot of guys, and then sometimes, you know what, the wife might say, look, we don't have to shovel sunshine, honey. We don't have to shovel this or shovel that. We've got sunshine. We got a great home. The kids love the school system, and you got to know, Jimmy, that factors into a lot of these
Absolutely,
coaches, a lot of coaches, a lot of players in pro sports. There's a lot of things that determine whether you're going to stay or move on. And I got to imagine if Bobby Hurley's got a program that can be in the thick of it in the Pac-12, get to the NCAAs, and just maybe that 1 year the blind squirrel finds a nut and you go all the way or whatever, where else would you want to be but Phoenix, Arizona?
I'm with you.
I get it being back on the East Coast, but with the transfer portal and all that's going on right now, you can convince those kids to get them on campus in mid-March. Oh, no. Let's get them on campus in mid-December. Hey, guys, it's
When it's 70 degrees here.
it's 75 today. You're going to go watch ASU take on U of A. It's an afternoon game. Kickoff at 2 o'clock at Sun Devil Stadium. Frank Cushfield's going to be 80. What is it back there in Detroit? What is it back there in New Jersey? Oh, 15 degrees, dreary and snowy. Close the deal.
All right, let me drop this one on you then, because I thought of this when the announcement came down last night. His name was floated a little bit, most likely from media people, when Ed Cooley opted out of Providence and took the Georgetown job. Hurley's name became floated for Providence. His brother, Dan, we all know, is the coach at UConn.
Right.
Exactly. So they would both be in the Big East. And so do you think that precipitated something from ASU? Or do you think because of the run that they got into the NCAA tournament, they had already made their mind up on the contract
I think
extension?
the only thing that's precipitating is the rain back there back east. Got a little rain here, but I think what's precipitating out here is sunshine.
You're going back to your sunshine?
Oh, yeah. The only thing, though, Jimmy, they've got to get a new facility or a new gym or refurbish or do whatever.
The president of the school came out and said it's serviceable.
Yeah, Michael Crow needs to understand it. If you want to keep the Bobby Hurleys of the world, if you want to, after this 2-year contract, if he's not seeing some changes made with the facilities, because facilities matter to these young men. NIL facilities, being able to come and go, what kind of training table, what kind of studying, tutors, all the above, that factors into it. And Michael Crow, with that kind of aloofness or irresponsible comment, has got to understand that, hey, look, football, basketball, the profit funding sports are what are going to drive these programs. So that comment was so off the wall. It's like it's like a academic type comment that you want to make sure these guys, if you're going to keep them and not go to the portal, we'll talk about U of A's latest portal drop, that you want to make sure that everything a coach needs is at his hand or beck and call.
Fair enough. Hey, our State 48 Roofing, it's your call question of the day for a free quote, repair, or installation. Just go to state48roofing.com and follow them on social media by searching hashtag sexy roof status. And here is the question, once again, proposed by my esteemed colleague, Manuch. Have the Suns found themselves in must-win situations with the last 11 games? You have two options. Yes, they need that momentum. 2, no, they are fine. Once again, just go to Roc and Manuch Twitter, cast your vote. We will revisit that question throughout the show and then bring you some results as we get near the end of the program today. Well, all I want to tell you is that my ballot is totally shot. Absolutely gonzo. However, we've got a great party for everybody who wants to come. It's the Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Big 4 weekend. It's going to take place at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sportsbook at Casino, Arizona. And listen to the guest list. 12-year NBA veteran and ASU standout player, Fat Lever's going to join us, plus 3-time NBA champion and North Carolina Tar Heel, Scott Williams. They're all going to join us. There'll be a special question and answer session on Saturday and on Championship Monday. We're going to have free props and squares. The first game starts at 3. You can just go to rockandmanuch.com, get all of the details, but you want to come and party with us at Casino, Arizona in the CAZ Sports Bar and Sportsbook. Well, we talked on it briefly. What a great night it was for baseball and the WBC championship matchup between the USA and Japan. The sounds of the game. It'll be our Valley Chevy dealers' sound of the day. It's all coming your way next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
The Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em is back. Win 910 on 910 Bracket Challenge presented by Dos Equis. Win man cards after every round. Win the entire bracket and take home a $910 man card. Plus your height in Dos Equis. Head to fanpick'em.com.
It's Dom with Venezia's Pizzeria. We love providing great food for family gatherings, parties, even work meetings. And we make it simple.
We sure do, no matter what the occasion. At Venezia's, we make catering easy. You can see our entire catering menu online at venezias.com or let us know how we can help at one of our 6 locations, including the newest, now open in Chandler.
We'd love to bring Venezia's to your next party. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family
Are you looking to get in the best shape of your life and offer your son or daughter the best training in Arizona? Then listen up. Dan Manuch here for the new Coco 5 Performance Center at Bell Bank Park, located in Southeast Mesa, the premier training facility in the Southwest. The state-of-the-art facility is 25,000 square feet, which combines junior high, high school, and college teams, as well as individual athletes of all ages. And it's the new home for my quarterback training. They have the best team of coaches led by Olympic gold medal winner Dan O'Brien. If your son or daughter wants to get bigger, stronger, and faster, then you need to call Coco 5 Performance Center now. Sign up by calling at 480-572-0647, and one of their team members will get you the type of training specific to your sport. That's 480-572-0647, or go online to legacyperformanceaz.com. And for a limited time, mention me, Dan Manucci, and they will give you your first session free on me. Again, that's 480-572-0647, or go to legacyperformanceaz.com.
Before new Cascade Platinum Plus, I would pre-rinse all my dishes because my old detergent just wouldn't get them clean. But now I do dishes differently. And no pre-wash, no rewash, money back guaranteed kind of different. Because Cascade Platinum Plus has double the grease fighting power of Dawn built right in, with twice the scrubbing power, giving me a clean that lets me break all the dish rules. I just scrape, load, and I'm done. Yep. So clean. With Cascade Platinum Plus, I dare to dish differently.
Progressive presents Adjusting to the Suburbs. You used to associate crickets with silence. But since you bought a house in the suburbs, you know crickets hate silence. If any other creature realized rubbing its legs together made a piercing, high-pitched noise, they might think, maybe I won't do that. Constantly. All night long. Luckily, you can save with Progressive by bundling your home and auto. Now that's something to make noise about. Just not constantly. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers.
More sports, more Jody. The Drive with Jody Ayler. Now in mornings 6 to 10 on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. Once again, broadcasting live, Wright Toyota here in Scottsdale. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. Jax is here as well. And we have Richie back in the studio. It is time now for our Valley Chevy Sounds of the Game. And Manuch, I'm going to begin with this one because I leaped off the couch when this took place. And the United States is trailing 3-1 at this time. And Kyle Schwarber comes up to the plate. And, well, I'll just let the clip play. Thank you, FS1.
Into double digits in this at-bat. The 10th pitch. Line to right field. Kondo turns. There it goes. Straighten it out. Second deck. 1-run game.
I think I counted one apple, two, and was gone.
It was, yeah, that's it.
Crushed
he
it.
Did crush it.
He golfed that one out.
He did.
And the at-bat before that, he had just missed, hit one out. And, he crushed that one. He got all of that one. And if you think about, some of the things that they needed at that point in time, that was huge. Huge. That hit. Was just a huge hit. And Schwarber just doing one of those kind of things that you need. And clutch in reference to get the USA back in the game.
Now listen to this about Kyle Schwarber, okay? He has homered in the World Series. He's homered in the AL Championship Series. He's homered in the NL Championship Series. He's homered in the AL Division Series, the NL Division Series, the AL Wild Card Game, the NL Wild Card Game, the World Baseball Classic, and then last night he homers in the World Baseball Classic Championship game. That's a pretty good resume.
The only thing left is the All-Star game.
That's it.
Getting a home run. Schwarber is always a threat.
Always.
He is always a threat, and he can play. He's pretty much designated as a DH nowadays. But he's one of those guys that at just any particular time he can unload, and those are the kind of guys. It's kind of bats. You watch this lineup come through there. Talking about a group of all-stars, Mookie Betts, you got Goldie, you got him, you got Schwarber, and you got on and on and Trout and on. And just, it was so fun because you had the best of the Japanese, who are also playing in Major League Baseball, some of them.
Yep.
And then you had the best of the USA guys that were playing, and I was so glad that they did not opt not to play, because I think all of them opted to play. I think when they realized that Trout, Goldie, and some of the stars were going to play in this. Arenado, they opted to play in this thing.
I thought it was sensational. They're coming back in 3 years in 2026, and just the excitement around it. The TV numbers are going to be astronomical when they're released. I saw in Japan, the numbers came out, over 90% of the TVs on were watching the game.
Wow.
In Japan.
And trust me, there's a lot of TVs in Japan. There's a lot of devices. Now, you just said TVs. I mean, think of the devices. Streaming, the cell phones. I mean, all that's going on out there. If you're in Japan, or the U.S. for that fact, and you weren't watching this game, what's wrong with you? Where you say, they were working the second or third shift so they could watch this game. But that was a must-tape game, and just rewatch it for the annals of time.
All right, so it all came down to the bottom of the ninth inning and 2 outs and nobody on for the USA. And everybody was hoping that we might see this. Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout, they are teammates on the Angels in Los Angeles. And this is the final call of Ohtani and Trout.
He throws. Trout strikes out swinging. Ohtani and Japan celebrate a World Baseball Classic championship.
All right, thank you to FS1 for that. But if you want to hear something that's really fun, listen to this next call. Same play, only this is from Japanese network television.
日本とアメリカのぶつかり合い。フルカウント。大谷かトラウトか。最後は大谷翔平が締めくくった侍ジャパン WBC 王座奪還14年ぶりの歓喜みんなで戦い抜いた侍ジャパンが世界一強い
That's just awesome.
The only thing
That's
I understood was WBC.
I heard that. I heard that.
And you know what was interesting when you watch it at bat? The cameraman was like down the first base line.
Yeah.
And he was at field level, and he showed some of the swings and pitches combination. And I got to tell you what, Mike Trout's got to take one of the hardest, fastest, quickest swings you can imagine. Obviously, Major League Baseball. But when he showed the ball, and that coming together, hell, if he hits that thing, you put wings on, that thing turns into an airplane.
Oh,
stop and think about it.
It goes to the moon.
But he was just, I mean, it went by him, 100 miles an hour. He wasn't even close to hit it. And then that last pitch, I don't know if that was a slider, a splitter. That thing came swooping in at about 100 miles an hour, but it was sharp, it was hard. But the swings, I mean, the mass times force times velocity. Hell, if he connects any of those 100-mile-an-hour fastballs, he lights up New York City with the kind of energy and power that come off of that. But how fun was that to see those two teammates go at it there at the very end?
And everybody was tweeting about it. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to get Ohtani against Trout. It's going to happen.
They talked about it in the pregame yesterday.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, look, what are the odds? We could only hope. We could only hope. I mean, a Disney movie is about the only one that puts that kind of ending together.
It was.
I mean, it was the ending. It was the third. It was 3-2 count.
Yeah.
And here we go. And Trout wasn't going to walk.
Oh no, he was going to take his cuts.
Was close.
Yeah,
he was swinging for the rafters.
I think it was even better that Mookie Betts had that double play right before, so it all came down to Trout. If it was 1 out left, I think it'd be different. But 3-2, 2 outs, Ohtani versus Trout. Man, Ohtani's impressive.
The seventh, the eighth, and ninth inning with especially the eighth and ninth inning, you saw where the pitching of Japanese pitching and fielding really came into play with these guys because they had runners on. USA had runners on. Like you talked about there, Mookie Betts hitting into a double play. I mean, these are guys typically you see them, they're going to get a base hit or walk or keep that rally going.
Yeah.
But to your point, coming down to the very end. And where's Trey Turner when you need him? Who hit another home run. But again, it was just the theater of it all. And to have all those fans in Miami and all the people watching eyeballs on baseball, I got to believe, as Ohtani said last night, baseball is back.
Yes.
That's why he even the major leaguers guys realize that the game has been struggling the last several years.
I would love to see baseball back in the Olympics. I think it's something that they should consider, especially after the WBC being so popular. Right. The Olympics would be tremendous.
Well, and I think that they're looking at the WBC as since they get a gold medal, as kind of the quasi-Olympics, as it is international.
It is.
And instead of stopping for a 2-week period, like they did several years ago for the Olympics, this I think has taken its place.
Mm-hmm.
Now you heard Max Scherzer talk about they'd like to see this somewhere in the middle of the season. I don't know where you put it. I think it's perfect where it is.
I like where it is right now.
Yeah, it just kind of sets up the season.
I mean, this is way better than going to just a spring training game when you don't know what you're going to get at that spring
Well, wouldn't the
game.
Olympics be in the middle of the season, though? Because it's like August.
Well, it is. But here's the thing. They used to do that. They would have the 2 weeks off. So instead of doing that and upsetting the Major League Baseball season, they'd rather have the WBC be that international play, if you will.
Right, yeah. It's difficult even when the NHL does it and they participate in Olympics. It would be difficult for baseball because their season is so long. 162
and those guys are looking for a break.
Oh, you bet.
All-star break. If they're not going to the All-Star game, they've got their plans 2-3 weeks ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
If they're not sticking around town.
Hey, that's it. That's our Valley Chevy dealers, sounds of the game. Valley Chevy dealers serving the Valley for over 80 years. You can always find new roads at your Valley Chevy dealer. Just head to valleychevy.com. We want to remind everybody, too, that you want to celebrate the big games with El Bandito Yankee Tequila. They've won platinum and gold medals, are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. All you have to do is just head to your local store, favorite bar or restaurant, and all 7 Barrio Queen locations. I have to say it like that.
Very good, Jimmy.
Thank you, Manuch. Join us every Tuesday because we were at the Barrio Queen yesterday in Tempe, and we're going to be at a different one next Tuesday as well. For events, recipes, cocktails, and more, just go to elbanditoyankee.com. Break out the Bandito with the official tequila of Game Day and Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. Well, as we told you early in the show, Suns are struggling. Lost 4 of their last 5. What's going to be the main focus for them to get back on track against the Lakers in L.A. tonight? Radio analyst Tim Kempton is going to join us next. He's going to break it all down. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 9.
Behold. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
It'll be 6 to 8 weeks on the shelf for Diamondbacks catcher Carson Kelly after he suffered a fractured forearm in Monday's spring training outing. The Suns continue their push to emerge from that Western Conference playoff logjam as they try to pick up a win against the Lakers tonight. Connor Ingram will get the starting goal for the Coyotes, who take on the Oilers. Bobby Hurley is not going anywhere. Arizona State signing their men's basketball head coach to a 2-year contract extension last night. At guard, Kerr Kriisa is leaving the Arizona men's basketball program. He'll enter the transfer portal. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Time to get in on real estate investments. GC Global Capital has financing with no income verification. Call 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187. License NB0924983, an equal opportunity employer.
At Lerner & Rowe, we don't have empty slogans or make empty promises. What we do have is a history of proven results. In a wreck, need a check? We've collected billions of dollars for our clients, with over $1 billion recovered in the past 5 years alone. Make one call, that's all. And we have a team of legal professionals standing by, waiting to begin working on your case the moment you call. Call Lerner & Rowe today. Find out why we've been voted best law firm in Arizona for the past 8 years in a row.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
It's Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing and your sexy status roof guy on Instagram and Facebook. Lesser roofers cut corners, cobbling together patchwork roofs to meet a budget, not State 48 Roofing. Give us a call today for your maintenance, repair, or full replacement needs.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider, locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
The biggest tournament in college basketball is underway, and the action is just getting started on DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and score $150 in free bets if your team wins. Plus, combine multiple bets for a shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings will be featuring parlays and odds boosts all tournament long. So be sure to check the DraftKings Sportsbook app every day to see what they've got in store. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and sign up with code 910 right now. New customers can bet $5 on any pregame moneyline bet and get $150 in free bets if your team wins. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code 910. 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Free bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/basketball terms.
Intelligence runs in the family. Innovation runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Every member is waiting to impress. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
All right, Tim called back right as we were coming back here, so I'm going to go into his open and into you.
Part of the Phoenix Suns NBA Finals team, NBA and Suns color analyst Tim Kempton now joins the Roc and Manuch show on Fox Sports 910 on FM at 99.9 HD2.
Good luck.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD2, and also on the iHeartRadio app. Always on a Wednesday at this time, we have a chance to catch up with Tim Kempton, radio analyst for the Suns. He's in Los Angeles getting ready for the game this evening. Tim, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. Welcome as always. Can you give us any insight? We seem to know that DeAndre Ayton will not play tonight. Have you heard anything yet for the Lakers and Anthony Davis?
No, they teams tend to hold that stuff tight, and right now, Anthony Davis, they haven't given us any indication. So we'll probably find out when we get to the arena. But as of right now, they have not shared anything with us. So no DeAndre, no Kevin Durant, and no LeBron. So and we're still up in the air with Anthony Davis.
And in reference to DA, hip injury, quad, all the above, are they hoping it's just one of those day-to-day scenarios there, Tim?
Yeah, it actually, you can go back and see where he did it. He was going up for a rebound, and he got kneed in his upper thigh, kind of contusion area there. So it wasn't anything that, it wasn't a strain or anything. So that's good. It was more of a contusion. It came from a hit, other than a strain or a sprain or him stretching it, or a bad step one way or the other. It was just taking a hit to the upper quad there. So we'll see how that plays out. Staying home, taking care of it with the training staff in Phoenix.
All that being said, and not knowing if Davis is going to play at tip or not, is it going to be either Landale or Biyombo back at the center position, depending on whether he starts or not?
Well, what happens with Monty? He likes to keep his units together.
Yeah.
So as we saw in the last game, he'll probably start Bismack Biyombo so Jock Landale can stay in his role with Cameron Payne and those guys coming off the bench, which has been a bright spot as of late. It seems like they've got their mojo back a little bit. Cameron Payne pushing it, playing with aggression. Jock Landale doing his normal stuff, the pick and rolls, getting on the offensive glass, and knocking down an occasional three. So I would expect Bismack Biyombo to start again and Jock Landale to come off the bench in his normal role.
And I know, Tim, when you looked at Biyombo, Craig, and Okogie in the last game, only 22 points between the three of them. One of those three's got to pick up, I would think, so that Devin Booker they'd have to score another 46 or 50 points, I would imagine.
Yeah, you love more balance. Obviously, Devin Booker, he can go and get, 25, 30. But, yeah, it's always nice when he's getting his 25 and 30 because he's got room to work because those guys are making shots. Josh Okogie in the short corner, and crashing the offensive glass. The same thing with Torrey Craig. Those guys have to make, take and make the shots that when they come to them to keep the pressure on the defense and also keep the pressure off Devin Booker, because if those guys aren't making shots, all of a sudden the defense is leaning towards and shading more towards Devin Booker, so it becomes more difficult for him. He's been playing at a great rate. His efficiency numbers are phenomenal right now, but you'd like more constant, consistent help from those other guys when he's on the floor.
Tim Kempton is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Roc and Manuch or Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. Tim, take me back to OKC following that game. Head coach Monty Williams, he was pretty bent out of shape, and rightfully so with some of his post-game comments. He just felt that they're just giving up way too much, and they're giving up easy baskets. Lakers have changed their entire dynamic with the trades that they made. How is all that going to play into tonight's game?
Yeah, Monty's just upset with pure basketball 101. You miss your shot, get your butt back on defense, turn around, and communicate. And that's one thing that OKC really hammered the Suns, even on made buckets by the Suns. OKC was getting the ball out and pushing it up against them, and they were by the Suns, and it was just for one of the few times this year you talk about hustle, determination, and desire, and Oklahoma City had it more than the Phoenix Suns, especially in that second half. The Suns looked like they were playing well. They were on the road. They had the game under control, but as we talked about before, it's 48 minutes, and a young athletic team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, you give them a breath of fresh air, you give them a little confidence, and it's off to the races for those guys. So, yeah, that's where the frustration comes in. You understand that, some nights teams are just going to be hot, but when you give them easy buckets and you don't make them work on the offensive end, that's where the frustration comes in for the coaching staff.
And I how frustrated is Monty with campaign? He has two really good games. But 5 points the other night. I mean, is the consistency going to be a factor to keep him on top? Because that scoring with Ross and or Shaman or whomever has got to get a little bit more beneficial, like it was 3 weeks ago, and you said they were averaging close to 40 points per game off the bench.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor. You can, we're assuming that Kevin Durant's going to be back in the lineup for the playoffs with DeAndre and Booker and Chris Paul. Those guys you think are fine. They're consistent. They're playing very well. They know how to play together. But, yeah, the bench is going to be key in the playoffs because, as we know, you can't play 48 minutes. The game slows down. It gets physical, so you need a little rest from that. So, yeah, Cameron Payne, Jock Landale, Torrey Craig, those guys need to be just themselves. Nothing crazy. But Cameron Payne's got to be consistent. He's got to push the ball, get into the paint, take his shots when they're there, and he's got to make them at a normal clip. He can't go over in situations because then the bench doesn't do enough, and then the starters come back in, and they have to fight an uphill battle. So they need some consistency out of those guys, and that's something that you hope develops over these last couple of weeks. You keep putting them out there, and you keep playing those guys so they get their confidence going into the playoffs. Because you want to be playing solid, consistent basketball when you get into the playoffs.
Tim, the term shooter versus scorer. So when you look at Ross and Shamet, you look at those two that need to score more or is capable of scoring more versus being that fine shooter. Shamet hit 4 out of 5 threes of the night. Who's that guy you go to? Who's the guy you go to if you got to get somebody off the bench to take that final shot?
Well, you look at it. Damian Lee, Terrence Ross now are guys that you see can not only make the three, but also get into the lane and finish well. So one of the things that we've talked about this team all year long is its depth. Now it's been tested, with injuries, with different lineups, guys in and out. Now Kevin Durant, but hopefully at the end of the year again, when everything is set straight, you have your 5 starters. And then you go to your bench, and your bench is where you can kind of mess with a little. Okay, this guy's not good tonight. Let me try one of these other guys and try to get balance there. So you have depth off your bench, and hopefully that bodes well in the playoffs. If one guy doesn't seem to have it on one night, you go to the next guy, and you throw Ish Wainwright in there as well. He was shooting the ball extremely well. And then last game in Oklahoma City just couldn't find the range.
Mm-hmm. I'm real curious how the matchups are going to take place tonight. I know Austin Reeves had a career game the other night. He scored 35 in the Lakers win. This is a guy who went undrafted and has turned into a more than serviceable NBA player. But they have other capable players with D'Angelo Russell. And how are they going to defend against this Laker team tonight?
Well, I think it's, again, just get back to your basics. Quit getting beat off the dribble. First and foremost, get back in transition defense.
Okay.
Don't give up the easy buckets to this team. Make sure they work offensively, and then just match up and stay in front of them. Whether it's Josh Okogie on Reeves, that'd be a good matchup. Devin Booker, when he's locked in, has size and quickness to stay in front of Reeves. So just do what you're capable of doing. Stay within your framework. But the easiest thing is to get back in transition and not give up easy buckets. And that's where teams like this gain confidence. They see the ball go through, they get excited, get running up and down the court. Don't give them the opportunity to make plays. Make sure that they have to make plays, that they have to make tough shots over an outstretched hand, that they don't have free lanes to the basket. Just play solid against these guys and don't give them anything easy to get their confidence going.
Tim, I hear you saying a lot of have tos. It sounds like the have to get in the win all these games mode as well. At least, what I look at it. But are they in a have to win mode these last 11 games?
Well, obviously you want to win as many as you can, and it's also for seeding. Right now they're in 4th, but they're not that far from that 7th position. So if someone gets hot and goes 8-3, 9-2, and you're around 5-6 or 6-5, someone's going to gain some ground on you. So the have to is just, hey, we're a good team. Let's play our kind of style basketball. Let's lock in defensively and make teams react to us. You shouldn't be reacting to the LA Lakers. They're a team that struggled all year long. They're shorthanded. Obviously, no LeBron. Anthony Davis may be banged up again. So go out there and play your game. Make the Lakers react to you. Obviously, you got Sacramento next on Friday night, and you got Philly on the back-to-back on your home court. So it's a tough schedule. You got 2 more times with the Denver Nuggets. So have to is a tough scenario when you're sitting in 4th position. But yeah, you want to win games. You're the 4th best team in the Western Conference. You want to come out and show that at the end of the year as well.
Tim, we stream our show on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I got to tell you what, here there's Tim Kempton, former Suns legend and current radio analyst, and there you are dribbling the ball. The defender's got his back to him, but you're hooking his left arm going to the hoop, and I'm like, there's that veteran move right there. You don't see much of that going to the hoop and hooking that arm, that left arm of that defender going to the hoop like that. It's a great shot. I'm like, damn, Kempton did know what the hell he was doing back there down low.
Well, what do you think they hired me for? Did you think I'm a color analyst for a reason? Give me a little bit of help here, fellas.
Here's the thing. Hell, you should be on the floor with these moves like that. You should be down there banging a little bit. Fire these guys up down low.
I wouldn't last too long with today's rules and the officials the way they blow it.
You think that Irish temper would get involved there somewhere, Tim?
No, not at all. I'd be cool, calm, and collected. I'd just be sitting on the bench.
It's always great, pal, when you take time with us.
Stay dry over there, big fella.
Yeah. Do you need a boat to get to the arena?
I'm telling you, it is definitely wet, and there's no no end in sight. We'll be here. Then I think Sacramento's wetter than LA, so it definitely is a galosh night. We bring the rain clothes with us on this trip.
All right, enjoy the game tonight. We'll be listening. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
There you go, Tim Kempton, as always, driven by All City Towing, and they continue to grow because they are hiring. That's right. All City Towing is looking for good people. Are you looking for a new gig? Well, just go to allcitytowing.com/careers. That's allcitytowing.com/careers. That's All City Towing. They are Arizona's largest towing, transport, and vehicle provider. Once again, it's allcitytowing.com. Manuch, what day is it today?
It is Wednesday.
No,
Hump Day.
not what I'm looking for.
Oh, okay. What are you looking for?
It is National Goof Off Day. Hell, we do that every day.
Yeah, it's a national holiday for us all the time. You kidding me?
National Goof Off Day. We've got it for you. It is next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
This is The Odd Couple. With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Before the Ja Morant stuff came out and was public, watching that team, Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bain doesn't say a lot as far as I can tell, but he still has an attitude about him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy at all. He seems like a good guy. But they just seem like a young, cocky group of guys.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 4, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is the place to be. Tavern Grill is now the home of Huss Brewing Company's Roc and Manuch Lager. Tavern Grill Scottsdale at 8880 East Via Linda.
You hear it now, the lawyer adds, and I'll repeat it in this one. All personal injury attorneys are not the same. Sure, we all claim to do the same things, but that's where the similarities between Lerner & Rowe and all other law firms end. Lerner & Rowe was recently named the second most influential law firm in the country, and we've collected billions of dollars for our clients, with over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. If you want real results after you've been hurt in a car wreck, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday from 11 to 1 live from the Sportsbook at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona for Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar.
Shopping for a mortgage? Big banks can be a big hassle. Call GC Global Capital and work with a local team of mortgage experts for great rates and lower fees. More options and faster closings. Don't let your dream home purchase turn into a nightmare. Call the professionals at GC Global Capital, 480-397-9300. GC Global Capital, your local mortgage professionals. GC Global Capital is an Arizona licensed mortgage broker. NMLS 1091187, license MB 0924983, and equal opportunity lender.
Golfers, tee it up at Vans Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Titleist. Check out the new Pro V1 golf balls designed for longer distance, more consistency, and unrivaled control. Swing by Vans Golf Shops and elevate your game with the new TSR Woods. Engineered faster, longer, and straighter. Come in and get custom fit for free today. Vans Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, unmatched service, unmatched expertise.
Wendy's 2 for $6 lets you mix and match some of our best items, like Dave Single with a 10-piece crispy nugs, medium strawberry lemonade with a spicy chicken sandwich, spicy chicken with a Dave Single with a strawberry lemonade, strawberry lemonade, if you're into that. Chicken Sam, crispy nugs, strawberry lemonade, Dave's, nugs, Sam. Whew. Pick what you want at a price you want. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6. For a limited time, price and participation may vary at U.S. Wendy's. On the card only. Single item at regular price.
Blue Jays, Bulldogs, Bruins, and Razorbacks, Hurricanes, Huskies, Owls, Cougars, Wildcats, Aztecs, Spartans, Musketeers, Crimson Tide, Longhorns, Volunteers, 15-seated Tigers ruined your hoop dreams. You got killed, your bracket looks like a crime scene. The Sweet 16.
All right, everybody, we are back here, Wright Toyota, right on the price, right on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. And, you know, this is the National Goof Off Day, and I thought Manuch said it perfectly when he indicated, well, we do that every day. But we have fun doing it every day. And one of the reasons is because of the great sponsors that we have on the show. And I'm going to tell you about one of them right now. And it is Twin Peaks, because everybody's bracket is just gone to hell in a handbasket. We all know that. But Fan Pick'em, Twin Peaks, and Dos Equis have come through. And here's all you have to do. You can get in on the Sweet 16 college basketball tournament. All you have to do is just go to Fan Pick'em, select the team that you predict will win each game of the rest of the tourney in the third round and on, enter the score designated for the tiebreaker, and you may enter your picks until the scheduled tip-off of the first game of the upcoming Thursday game, which is tomorrow. Limit one entry per person. Once again, you can get in on this. Just go to fanpick'em.com. And by the way, we will be at Twin Peaks tomorrow in beautiful Tempe and Friday in Scottsdale. All right, Manuch, let's get to On This Day.
Well, as you mentioned, it is National Goof Off Day, so goof off all you want. We do it each and every day from 1 to 4 here on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, Monday through Friday. So welcome aboard, if you will. 1969, Lou Alcindor, now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he leads UCLA to the NCAA title with a 97-72 win over Purdue and is chosen as MVP for the third straight year. I remember watching those games. They were dominant in those early years. 1994, the NFL announces the addition of the two-point conversion, the league's first scoring changes in 75 seasons. And I remember when this was coming about, they were talking about the two-point conversion, because there were so many opportunities for guys to get a two-point conversion and go ahead and tie the game.
Or win the game.
Either or have that option versus, okay, we get the extra point, onside kick. So I was so glad when they finally came down with the two-point conversion. 2007, Kobe Bryant becomes the fourth player in NBA history to score at least 50 points in 3 straight games. Bryant scores 60 points in the LA Lakers 121-119 win over Memphis. Bryant joins Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, and Michael Jordan as the other 3. And a lot of folks, you see a lot of these records right now, Jimmy, they don't realize Elgin Baylor was so prominent as a scorer, rebounder, and assist leader for so many years.
Manuch, he was Jordan, he was LeBron, he was Dr. J before those guys were a twinkle in their father's eye. I can tell you that right now. That's how talented Elgin Baylor was.
I see this next one just makes me smile. 2011. Lawrence Taylor pleads guilty for misdemeanor of sexual misconduct and is sentenced to 6 years probation. Not that makes me smile, is that playing against one Lawrence Taylor in our last replacement game that we had, it was the third one, the Giants had just about everybody and their mother cross the picket line.
Okay.
And here we are out there. And so my first encounter, Lawrence Taylor, it was midway through the third quarter. I'm at quarterback. And there's Lawrence Taylor about, 3 yards from me in the A gap, looking to come at me. And he's hollering words I didn't know existed, Jimmy.
He probably made them up.
There's some slangs, there's some cuss words, there's some things. And he was slobbering and he was yelling, "Hey, Manuch, I'm going to get you." And you might.
He called you by name.
Oh, yeah.
He knew your name.
Because out of my back there.
Wow,
Jimmy.
I'm impressed that other players knew your name.
I'm with Buffalo, and it's 3-3 at this time. And we're looking to try to go down and win the game. And there's LT, and I'm just like, okay, I've got the protection slid to the right. He's in the right A gap. So if we slide, I just make sure Will Grant, who is a veteran center, he also crossed the picket line. And I just said, just pick his ass up. Just pick his butt up. So I'm hoping that as I'm calling out signals, right?
Yeah.
And so I basically, I call the snap can, set, go. I pop out. He flies out of there. He flies out of the A gap into zone. And I'm like, I'm dropping back. Hey, guys, if I'm dropping back, it's like a 7-step hitch.
Yes.
I'm like, whew, okay. And I'm reading the defense, and I'm exhaling because I'm going, he's coming.
Yeah.
And he's going to just try to destroy me. But number one, I'm going to get down. I'm going to get out of bounds. But he's not going to get a clean hit at me. I'm thinking all that stuff as he's like 3 yards from me in that A gap to the right and hollering at stuff. And matter of fact, Will Grant, the next play, my center, came back and looked at me, winked at me like, glad he didn't come. And I said, you and me both. So
That's great.
2011 as well. Greg Anderson. We talked about him the other day. The personal trainer of Barry Bonds refuses to testify at the Sluggers trial for perjury. He is charged with contempt of court by Judge Susan Ilston and is taken into custody, facing a 5th jail term for his consistency and uncooperative attitude. And I mentioned this the other day, Jimmy. I hope he got paid well by one Barry Bonds.
You know, I know that you're going to say that, and I referenced it yesterday, and I'll do it again today. They spent $40 million trying to get Bonds, and they never really got him.
Well, they did in the court of public opinion. They got
in
him.
public opinion,
Yeah.
yes.
And I think where he's getting got, if you will, is by not being elected into the Hall of Fame.
I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all. I am way past the entire league.
No.
No,
The
I know.
sports writers
the sports writers. Yes.
They're getting his. They're giving him his pound of
I know.
flesh.
Yes.
By whether you agree he's in or not, right? He's not going to get in because you're saying, well, they didn't get him. Well, yeah, they did get him. The sports writers got him, and they know that he was doing it. And they know he was doing this allegedly. Yeah, you go from a 7 1/4 head
I
to
understand
an 8 1/2 head.
I saw him.
That just doesn't happen. So when you say, well, they didn't get him, they did.
Not legally, they didn't get him. But the thing I find real interesting is there's always the debate on Bonds, on Roger Clemens, on some of the other guys.
Cheater, pumpkin eater.
They were all doing it that time. You can blame that one on the baseball commissioner at that time, who never took any action to nip it in the bud.
You talking about Bud Sellout?
That's who I'm talking
Bud
about.
Sellout. That's
Yes, that's who I'm talking
Speaking
about.
of goof-offs, he's a big goof-off, huh?
Jeez.
Like that one there. I see what you did there, Jack.
Yeah, I tried to connect the two.
You did. Nice job, Jax. Not bad for the Rook.
Glad he's awake over there.
Coming up,
Stay with us, man. It's better.
It's Campus Quickies. ASU, U of A, GCU. We're going to wrap up their seasons and a whole lot more coming up in hour number 2. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We are broadcasting live at Wright Toyota here in Scottsdale.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home, and the men who use PTO to catch afternoon basketball in March with the boys. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Who wants to settle for a single TV? With more TVs, bigger screens, plus our fabulous scenic views, there's more to watch at Twin Peaks.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
On the free iHeartRadio app, you never pay to hear what you love, and you never wait to hear what you want. Save your money, save your time, and listen anywhere. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
I'd rather ride a bike with my kids
Faster!
than ride in an ambulance.
I'd rather have a catch with my dog Curtis than catch pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like heart disease, asthma, or diabetes, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Learn more at Prevnar20.com. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. When it comes to your personal injury case, I'm straight to the point. I'll answer your call, no BS.
Byron Brown, the anti-lawyer lawyer. Call 1-800-ANTI-LAWYER.
Hey, it's Junior. Today, Black folks in our community are still disproportionately affected by HIV. But there is something we can do about it. There's no cure for HIV, but there are effective treatments that, taken as prescribed, can help you live healthy with HIV and get to and stay undetectable, which means the amount of virus is so low it can't be measured by lab tests. If you're living with HIV and not on treatment, talk to your doctor about treatment options. Learn more at treathivtoday.com. This message was sponsored by Gilead Sciences.
Lazy Boy Comfort on sale now. Save 25% off Lazy Boy reclining furniture store-wide.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook Sports, now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. Available everywhere on our free iHeart radio app. #1 for music, radio, and podcasts, all in one. Here's what's trending on Fox Sports 910.
The Suns continue their push to emerge from the Western Conference playoff logjam as they try to pick up a win against the Lakers tonight. The Coyotes will take on the Oilers. They'll have Connor Ingram in goal. Rumors of Bobby Hurley's potential departure perhaps to the Big East were quelled after Arizona State signed their men's basketball head coach to a 2-year contract extension. Guard Kerr Kriisa is leaving the Arizona men's basketball program to enter the transfer portal. And Diamondbacks catcher Carson Kelly is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks after suffering a fractured forearm in Monday's spring training outing. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
Continued showers across Arizona today with a chance of rain in the Phoenix area and snow in our higher elevations. Eastern Arizona, get ready for it because you will receive additional snowfall. We'll see a high of 66 degrees here today, 66 for your Thursday, Friday, 69. I'm Celeste Rodriguez with your Fox 10 weather experts.
Blue Sky Pest Control. Blue Sky Pest Control, a Rosie on the House certified partner and a trusted choice for pest control solutions valley-wide. Better technicians, better service, Blue Sky Pest Control.
Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch is proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910.
All right, everybody, it is our second hour of world-class radio right here. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD2. And on the iHeart Radio app. We want to remind everybody, too, at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book at Casino, Arizona, it is your home for the college basketball madness, which once again resumes tomorrow. Well, you want to make sure that you make plans to join us for the Big Four weekend, because 12-year NBA veteran and ASU standout player Fat Lever is going to join us, along with 3-time NBA champion and North Carolina Tar Heel Scott Williams. They're going to be with us at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book for the Final Four. We'll also offer up a Q&A session. You can get autographs, photos. We're also going to have prop bets and squares. It's going to be a great time. It'll start about 3 in the afternoon. If you want more details, just go to rocandmanuch.com, and it is all there for you. Manuch, we are here right now, right Toyota, right on the price, right here in Scottsdale as we broadcast live. All right, Richie, let's go.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, the big story is the Suns and the Lakers, and that game is coming up tonight. And we're going to do a lot of conversation on that throughout the show today. But, Manuch, I want to drop one right now into your wheelhouse, and that is the Arizona Cardinals. I've looked at some of the guys that they have signed, offensive linemen, Dennis Daly. They've signed a cornerback, Antonio Hamilton. Yesterday, you and I saw that they had defensive lineman L.J. Collier. Where are you on these signings that they're doing right now?
Well,
and their short contracts.
Yeah, Antonio Hamilton, I'm sure is needed. I mean, he started off rough last year with the burns and came back, but some of these guys are just 1 year guys, just fill-in guys. You look at Jonathan Ledbetter, who's been there, also signed a 1 year tender. He's been there, and you see some of the things that are going on. As a matter of fact, the one lineman, I believe it was Jackson, they'd signed. He comes in as a backup guy, but he doesn't have the kind of numbers that I'm comfortable with as a quarterback, as far as the way that he handles or can't handle as far as pass rushers are concerned. Jack, you had some numbers a little bit earlier. We were like, why would you bring this guy on? Just another body?
Yeah, so he played 17 games last year, started 15. And according to PFF,
that'd be who now?
The Pro Football Focus, they analyze individual
player. The lineman that came in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. He gave up a league high 12 sacks and 52 pressures in total over his 15 starts. What are we doing?
Yeah, that being Daly is the young man you're alluding to. That's what I was trying to get at. The guy there's
Dennis Daly.
Yeah, Dennis Daly. That's the guy that you're seeing guys come in. And you look at that and you see those numbers or lack thereof as far as protection's concerned. And we talked about this with Collier last year, the lack of numbers that he's had these last couple of years. And all they are is just bodies, just bringing in guys. Yeah, they're pros, but they're not names that are going to be helping these teams. When you make moves and you get free agents, you get drafts, you're always looking. I learned this years and years ago. I sat down with a couple of GMs, and they said in the offseason, we're looking to improve our team. If we're going to need a lot of bodies, okay, who are those bodies that will help improve our team? Do we get rid of guys that have been here too long or can't do the job anymore? So when I see the moves the Cardinals are making or lack thereof, am I seeing moves that they are improving the team, improving the position? So you got Beachum at the right tackle. You got Hernandez. Your center's a big question mark. You got Jones at your left guard, and you got over here, you got DJ Humphries. Okay, stand pat, consistency, continuity. But if any of those guys go down, which a lot of them do, a lot of the injuries with this offensive line, defensive line, when you get plug and play, you want to feel assured that the guys that you plug in and playing are going to be effective or aren't going to be individuals that you feel are going to be a detriment if you put them in the game. Because when you put your backups in the game, you might lose a little bit, but you don't want to lose a lot. You want them to be, what's the quote we use all the time? Serviceable.
Yep.
And have other guys help cover up. So you got linebackers, but if you got a Collier that just can't get it done anymore as a defensive end that doesn't have the push, who's a linebacker, who's the Sam linebacker or Will linebacker on a 4-3 front that can cover for him if he's got to come in and play? You see what I'm saying here, guys? I mean, we want to plug and play, but we want a guy that's going to be effective, not be a detriment to what you're plugging in. And I've seen a lot of these guys they're just guys on 1 year deals that are going to have to prove why they should be staying another year.
Said it before, and I'm going to say it again. They are doing a Coyotes is what they're going to do for this coming year. And you just discussed it. Guys are just plugged into different spots. They're going to get through this year. You know what also I'm thinking here, Manuch? This is a dangerous thought, but I'm going to reference it anyway. I'm thinking that they know something about Kyler Murray, and everybody's thinking, oh, he's going to be playing again in 3 or 4 games. I'm not seeing that with the people that right now they are bringing in. Because if they really wanted to protect him, they would be shopping for much better standards than what they have offered up so far.
You know, we were talking with Tim Kemp a little bit earlier about matchups, right?
Yes.
Well, if all of a sudden you've got a backup guard and a backup tackle and a backup this and backup that, well, you saw adjustments from the game plan. Okay, Cliff Kingsbury never adjusted the game plan on who you had playing.
Correct.
So if I've got a backup left tackle, I'm not going to do a lot of drop backs where my focus is down the center of the right, knowing when I come in from my backside. So the failure, again, by Cliff Kingsbury to adjust who's on the field, who's not on the field, was one of the, I call Achilles heel, that he had as a play caller. He would still call a lot of the same plays, not making adjustments with who was ever the lineman, who was ever the receiver, who's this guy, who's that guy. and have to readjust the game plan. Because the National Football League, folks, you got game plan A, B, C, and D, and you adjust it accordingly to all of a sudden, let's say defensive.
Okay.
You have a cornerback go down. All right, so I got to put the backup corner in there. So now I'm not going to put him on man-to-man coverage with the best receiver. I'm going to give him some help over the top. That's one example. All right, if I've got a backup left tackle, I think I'm going to have my running back. I'm going to slide protection probably to that left side.
Okay.
To have my running back chip and then release and just make sure if I've got 2 or 3 linemen out, I'm probably going to go max protection and just put 3 guys out in the route to protect, as you mentioned, Jimmy, Kyler Murray, so he doesn't get hammered over and over again. Or how about if I waggle away from that left tackle or waggle or do a bootleg or something, I get away from that protection so that guy's not so much on an island by himself, knowing he can't protect, so he's going to need help. So you see what I'm saying? There's got to be adjustments or matchups that you can make sure with these guys coming in, you're going to have a potpourri of hole here, hole there. So with the play calling from the offensive coordinator, he better just understand, which I'm sure he does. He's coming from Cleveland.
Oh, yeah.
What he's going to have to do or not do. So I hope that answers your question. That's when you see a lot of these just dudes coming in. But the whole thing, my contention, the majority of general managers I've talked to or head coaches, we're looking to improve our team, not just plug and play and not have that improvement.
You know,
I know it's a long diatribe, guys, but I mean,
but
when I watch the Cardinals, I see a bass-ackwards organization doing it in a bass-ackwards way. And so if Kyler Murray doesn't have success and he's on his ass 3/4 of the time because of this guy, that guy,
running for his life.
Exactly. Then what do you expect?
Yeah, I'm with you. Quickly, I wanted to get to this because I had a guy at a refreshment stand a couple of nights ago try to explain to me why he thought the World Baseball Classic was just awful because guys could get hurt and they just should be in spring training. So in Scottsdale, Zach Davies gives up a bunch of runs, and the Diamondbacks lose to the Angels 7-1. That's not the story, however. The story is D-backs catcher Carson Kelly.
Right.
He's going to start the season on injured reserve. Why? He has a fractured forearm that he suffered when he was hit by a wild pitch.
Yeah.
So it can happen in spring training is my point. Anything can happen.
Absolutely, Jimmy. Absolutely. And then that was his left forearm. He's a right-handed batter.
Yep.
Guy, you could actually hear the bone when they had the replay of it, like the game yesterday. So I hear these folks go, what I loved about the WBC is you had the best of the best, the majority of the best of the best, that were playing against the best of the best from all the countries. And I'm so glad our guys go, wow, this is for us to represent the USA because they've got all their studs in Dominican and Colombia and Cuba and Canada and, oh, by the way, Japan and South Korea. They got a bunch of dudes, right? I loved it. That's what I loved about it. And to your point, hell, how many pitchers do we have out there that get a strain in the shoulder in pitching?
Absolutely.
Or they're out running their sprints in the outfield, they get a hammy, whatever. I say, hey, the best form of this, getting ready for your season, was the WBC. And then all the crowds. So your boys at that refreshment stand, have they not seen the crowds?
They refused to even turn on the game because they thought it took so much away from spring training.
Oh, please.
And you were endangering the players. That's why I wanted to bring this up right now.
Those guys that played in that WBC said it was one of the better things for them to prepare them for the season.
I'm with you.
Competition, good pitching, all the above, versus seeing the guy number 95 pitch against you from the 6th, 7th, and 8th inning that you won't see until the end of the year next year.
That's why I say you go to the spring training game thinking you're going to see Mike Trout in center field, and instead you get Joey Jenkins.
Was number 99.
I'm sorry.
So did you tell those guys?
I told them. Well, I can't tell you what I told them.
Well, I know that.
But I did tell them.
You tell them there's therapy for that, right? Therapy is for watching good baseball.
I don't think I put it quite in those terms, Manuch.
Were you echoing what Lawrence Taylor was yelling at me in that replacement games, Jimmy? Was that strong language? Matter of fact, that's Will Grant came back and went, man, he went off on you. Yeah, I did. But you know what?
I still think that's awesome.
He didn't get me.
LT.
Nope, he didn't get
Jack,
to
you know who Lawrence Taylor is?
Oh, of course.
Oh, okay.
We're just
not that
checking.
stupid. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't know what after your comment yesterday, we questioned it. Yeah, and then he didn't know what
I'm just speaking the
the
truth.
movie Major League was, and we had a break there too. We're educating you. Just hang around, we'll get you educated.
You guys are like 50 years older than me. Give me a
Give or
break.
take.
Oh, hell,
Somewhere
I'm
in
like
there.
70 years older than you, kid. Hey, you want to make plans and hang out with us, Roc and Manuch and Jimmy B. It's the Big Four weekend, and of course, it's going to take place at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona. Joining us will be 12-year NBA veteran and ASU standout Fat Lever, one of the prolific scorers in the NBA in his time, and also three-time NBA champion and North Carolina Tar Heel Scott Williams. He's going to join us. You heard him on the show just the other day. There'll be special Q&A. You'll be able to take photos, get some autographs, and you'll be able to win cash during the games. 2 on Saturday and also on Championship Monday night as well. Prop bets, squares. It's going to be a great time and a great party. Casino, Arizona, CAZ Sports Bar, and Sports Book. For more details, just go to rockandmanuch.com. All right, coming up, a little more on the Suns and the Lakers tonight. We're going to dive into that game. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
The Twin Clicks Fan Pick'em is back. Win 910 on 910 Bracket Challenge presented by Dos Equis. Win man cards after every round. Win the entire bracket and take home a $910 man card. Plus your height in Dos Equis. Head to fanpick'em.com.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. And online at wrighttoyota.com.
A homeowner just like you.
Hey.
Decides to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the bumper and the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the backside of the roof until...
What? Wait, no.
Yes. Dad was in tow.
Ooh, was he hurt?
A few bruises and his pride.
Save yourself with State 48 Roofing, offering maintenance, repairs, and replacements. Of course, licensed, insured, and bonded. From residential to commercial. State48roofing.com.
Win cash by watching the NCAA championship game at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B.
Play their free props and scores contests.
That's Championship Monday with the guys at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona.
Golfers, tee it up at Vans Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Titleist. Check out the new Pro V1 golf balls designed for longer distance, more consistency, and unrivaled control. Swing by Vans Golf Shops and elevate your game with the new TSR Woods. Engineered faster, longer, and straighter. Come in and get custom fit for free today. Vans Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, unmatched service, unmatched expertise.
For quality referrals, your guy or my guy?
My guy.
Read reviews online from people you don't know or trust, or all the homework done for you at myguy.com.
My guy.
Sites that are all about making money and not your needs, or My Guy, that was voted #1 by consumers in Ranking Arizona.
My guy.
The choice is clear. My Guy Referrals, for home repairs to remodeling to hundreds of other services. Visit myguy.com for all of life's needs. Make
My guy.
your guy.
I studied Spanish in college and never got fluent, but then I tried Babbel.
Want the most effective way to learn another language? In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's bite-sized lessons will have you learning another language in as little as 3 weeks.
Babbel gets you speaking quickly about things you actually talk about in the real world.
University studies have shown that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a semester of college Spanish. If you want to learn a new language, there's no better way than Babbel. Go to Babbel.com to try Babbel for free. That's BABBEL.com.
I think he could get him here against Dario. Baisley down the lane, punches the ticket on his old club.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM, HD2, and also on the iHeart Radio app. Suns Lakers tonight. We know that Ayton is out for the Suns. Anthony Davis for the Lakers is listed as a game-time decision, and so far, Manuch, nothing from the Lakers, and I have a feeling that they won't release anything until it's close to game time.
Well, they've got 10 games to go, I would think, to bolster themselves. They'll reevaluate, the scenario, if you will. They got the Suns coming in town, and again for the Lakers, they're pretty much on the bubble, if we could use a term from March Madness.
They are,
and they're pretty much in must-win situations. I think that like the Suns are in a must-win situation. So if you don't play them, the Suns should win this game. If they don't play them, get up and down the court. But if they do play them, I don't know if the Lakers have that luxury not to play him tonight, depending on how banged up he is. But Anthony Davis is always
he's
banged
always
up.
hurt.
I mean, if he can play at 82 games, if he can play half,
he's a great NBA player. Phenomenal player. But something is always wrong with him. And that's cost him his career. Yes, I know he was healthy when the Lakers won the NBA championship when they were in the COVID bubble. And people say, well, that was the bubble and it doesn't count. No, it counts.
And we do know that, and we do know DA is out.
He's out. Tonight, we know that for sure.
With the hip. So it looks like Bismack Biyombo is probably the odds on.
Yes.
In reference to that. So again, you've got Durant out, you got KD out, you got DA out.
LeBron.
Well, I'm talking about the Suns.
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yeah. So basically, we talked about this the other day. If that's the lineup, then I want to see what adjustments Monty's going to make to see more scoring out of Biyombo and Okogie and Craig. You're going to have to get more than 22 points total out of those three individuals. So because D-Book, if he's got to score another 40, 45, and they're in these last 11 games, you talk about getting worn down, he should be fine until KD gets back. But the thing is, you don't want him running out of gas, but these are must-win situations. So depending how he handles the bench and what those bench players give him defensively, number one, and offensively. So if they can shut down the Lakers defensively, maybe they don't need as much scoring off the bench, and they can rely on their top four guys to get the points they're going to need.
Jax, let's pull up their schedule and kind of run through some of their games because they have, I think the last time I looked at it, it was the fourth or fifth most difficult closing schedule in the NBA.
So we got 11 games. So I want you guys to see if this is a win or a loss. Predict what these last 11 games will put them at. So first at Lakers, are you saying a win?
I got him winning tonight.
I think if Anthony Davis plays and is reasonably healthy, I think the Lakers beat him.
At Sacramento on Friday.
That's a loss.
I would say a loss, yeah.
Home on Saturday against the Sixers.
Well, who's playing or not playing for 76ers?
That's the other issue because the
who's
Sixers,
in, who's out?
Because right now Embiid is playing hurt, but they're trying to set themselves as in a position. So I'm going to say if I think I'm gonna call the Sixers for that win.
I think the Suns win that game. That's a home game, and that's on Saturday night. I think the Suns win that game.
Okay, all right. Next Monday at Utah.
I got Suns winning that at Utah.
I don't. Utah is battling for a playoff spot, and it's desperation for them as well. I think this is a problematic game again for Phoenix.
Next Wednesday, home against Minnesota.
Home game. I got to win. Suns winning that.
I agree with that for the first time with Manuch. I think they would beat Minnesota, even with the fact that Karl Anthony Towns is expected to be back.
Friday, March 31st, possibly Kevin Durant's first game home against Denver.
Before you move on, Cat's having a hard time.
He is.
Trying to get back right now.
He's going to try to play tonight.
Yeah, he's got some issues they're not quite sure of.
Yeah.
When I read that, I went, you're not quite sure of what?
What?
That's interesting. So we'll watch that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
Next Friday, March 31st, home against Denver.
I got to go Suns. Yeah,
I would take Phoenix there because Denver by that time might be a little bit on cruise control.
Sunday, April 2nd at OKC.
I'm going Suns there. Yeah, they could have easily won that game the other night. If they show up their defense, they win that. They're a dangerous team, OKC, but I got Suns.
They're a very dangerous team, and I believe that they will continue to be that dangerous team, and I think that could be, again, problematic for the Suns. I like OKC in that game.
Back-to-back home games, San Antonio and then Denver.
Okay, I think on the 4th, I've got a gut feeling, folks. I know nothing, okay? I think that's when KD comes back. I think that's a good game to come back. That's a home game, April 4th, San Antonio. for those last 4 games. I got them winning that game.
And then Denver, home against Denver.
I'm going to also take the Suns in that game as well, because once again, Denver could be on cruise control.
And then lastly, at LA Lakers, and then home against the Clippers.
Okay.
And I think KD's playing.
Okay, if he's playing, that changes obviously the entire dynamic.
And the Lakers will probably be LeBron. Will be back by April 7th.
They're hoping that he will be back by then.
Yeah, they're saying that he could continue and linger into the playoffs. So this foot tendon issue that he has, is more than they thought. He may not make the playoffs, but if he can go, you know him with 2 games to go. If they need him,
he'll play.
He's playing.
Yeah,
I got the Suns in that one. I got with KD playing hopefully the last 4 games. San Antonio, Denver, LA Lakers, LA Clippers. I've got them winning those.
All right,
games.
now, so you guys got them going either 9-2 or 8-3 in their last.
Yeah,
I'm going to reference the Clippers game real quick, because Paul George is out now with a knee sprain after last night's game.
So what's new, Jimmy?
I'm with you. I think that changes the dynamic on the Clippers. But by that time, what's the date on that last game?
April 9th.
April 9th.
They'll already be in the playoffs. The Clippers will.
See, that's another thing, too. Yeah. If nobody can improve, the Suns can't improve their seeding.
Right.
With 2 or 3 games to go. And the Lakers and Clippers or whomever are vying for better spots. Mm-hmm. And the Suns they're going wherever they're going to go. It's dialed in. You might not see. You might see the bench play for the Suns those last couple of games.
Yeah, how crazy is that to think that April 9th is the last game and we're going into playoffs? That's just around the corner. I love NBA playoffs. I'm excited for it.
I can't wait. I love the playoffs. I think it's one of the best things that takes place in sports. I've covered many a playoff game, and they are fantastic. Hey, it's Hump Day, which means thanks to El Bandito Tequila, hey, we are going to offer this up for you. 4 tickets. You heard me. 4 tickets for the El Bandito Yankee Barbecue and Beer Fest. We've got 4 tickets to this Saturday, March 25th, the El Bandito Barbecue and Beer Fest at Tumbleweed Park. We'll take the first 4 callers. And here's the number, 602-260-9191. 602-260-9191 for your entry into this great barbecue and beer fest. It's all presented by El Bandito Yankee Tequila. Call us right now if you want to go and have a great time. Tumbleweed Park on Saturday, 602-260-9191. All right, quick timeout. When we come back, Campus Quickies, the information from U of A, ASU, and Grand Canyon University. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
This is what's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix.
Diamondbacks catcher Carson Kelly expected to be out 6 to 8 weeks after he suffered a fractured forearm in Monday's spring training game. The Suns looking to continue their push to emerge from the Western Conference playoff logjam as they try to pick up a win against the Lakers tonight. Connor Ingram will be in goal for the Coyotes as they take on the Oilers. Those rumors of Bobby Hurley's potential departure to the Big East were quelled after ASU signed their men's basketball head coach to a 2-year contract extension. Guard Kirk Kriisa is leaving the Arizona men's basketball program. He's going to enter the transfer portal. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
Whether it's beer and wings with the guys or a steak or ribs with that special someone, Tavern Grill Scottsdale is a casual sports bar and grill with something for everyone. Visit us today at 8880 East Via Linda, Tavern Grill in Scottsdale.
Rock for WrightToyota.com. At Wright Toyota, they'd like you to get to know them. Their goal is to make buying your next vehicle the kind of experience that earns your recommendation to family and friends. They invite you to use all of their innovative web tools on WrightToyota.com. So if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota, head to their interactive website at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection.
Hey, can you hear me?
WrightToyota.com.
Hey, it's Gross. Join me, Bauer, and Jackson every Saturday. Do you know if it's just one ticket per person? CAZ Sports Bar.
Are you looking for a change in your career path or just looking to get back into the employment market again? Look no further. All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings are in the areas of customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. If you're looking for a challenging yet rewarding opportunity, a great benefits program including 401k program with a generous company match, and a company that is a leader in the industry, apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call All City's HR department at 480-833-7278. All City Towing is Arizona's largest towing transport vehicle storage provider, locally owned and invested within the communities they service. If you enjoy helping others by providing great customer service, working as a team, and possess great communication skills, All City is for you. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278. That's allcitytowing.com.
Jake from State Farm here to answer your what ifs.
Hi, what if a moose rams my car?
File a claim on the app. At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
When I can't sleep, my mind just races. I think about work, the kids, but I don't think about taking melatonin because I'm afraid I'll feel groggy in the morning.
ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies has an optimal dose of melatonin for no next-day grogginess, so you can fall asleep naturally and wake up feeling refreshed. ZzzQuil Pure Z's Gummies for better sleep like never before. And try Pure Z Sleep plus next-day energy with melatonin plus extended-release B vitamins.
Stunning design, unmatched intelligence, and a compact ready for anything build. Sometimes exceptional is the rule. The Mercedes-Benz GLA, member of the unrivaled SUV family. Learn more at MBUSA.com.
Golfers, teed up at Vans Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Titleist. Check out the new Pro V1 golf balls designed for longer distance, more consistency, and unrivaled control. Swing by Vans Golf Shops and elevate your game with the new TSR Woods. Engineered faster, longer, and straighter. Come in and get custom fit for free today. Vans Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, unmatched service, unmatched expertise.
This is The Herd.
The winner in this is also
Colin Cowherd.
Teams not in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes are saying they would not give up a first-round pick for him. 2 years ago, Matt Stafford with a losing...
Sorry, I had to make this break a bit longer so I can get through all these calls.
A second-round pick and a Super Bowl quarterback, Jared Goff. Aaron Rodgers today, second-round pick, maybe a third-rounder next year condition.
This is The Herd. Tomorrow at 10. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere.
All right, Hood's ready to go.
Heart Radio app.
A homeowner just like you decides to fix his roof.
Okay.
He backs up his truck, ties one end of the rope to the bumper and the other to himself.
Smart.
He's working on the backside of the roof until...
What? Wait, no.
Yes, Dad was in tow.
Ooh, was he hurt?
A few bruises and his pride.
Save yourself with State 48 Roofing, offering maintenance, repairs, and replacements. Of course, licensed, insured, and bonded. From residential to commercial. State48roofing.com.
Good luck.
It's Quickies, your weekly quick fill of Wildcats, Sun Devils, Lumberjacks, and Lopes info.
All right, everybody, welcome back in. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. It's time now to do our campus quickies, and we are going to begin first with the Sun Devils. And that means Hod Rubino is our guest. Hod, it's Jimmy B and Manuch here today. You can always go at Devils Digest on Twitter and keep up with Hod. We know that the 2-year extension is a solid deal for Bobby Hurley, the head coach. My question to you is, with rumors circulating when Ed Cooley went to Georgetown, and rumors circulated that Providence might reach out to Bobby because his brother Dan is at UConn and they would be coaching in the same conference, the Big East, did that have anything to do with it, or had this 2-year extension, with your information, been on the table for some time?
Well, I think that there definitely were some discussions throughout the season about possibly extending Bobby Hurley. I don't think each side really wanted to go into next year being the last year on Bobby Hurley's contract. I don't think it's ideal for Bobby himself. I don't think it's ideal even for ASU for that matter. And I think the issue that you bring up, about a job opening in the same conference as UConn, and Dan Hurley being the head coach, Bobby's younger brother. I don't think that made that destination an attractive one. I know there were a lot of national reports about Bobby Hurley being seriously in consideration over there. So I'm not saying that aspect in the vacuum caused Bobby Hurley to sign the extension with Arizona State, but I do agree that I think the Providence destination was probably much less attractive to Bobby Hurley than a lot of people think it is.
And I got to tell you what, Hode, it's not only Bobby Hurley's decision. You think the family, the wife, they don't shovel, sunshine out here in Arizona for no reason. So I think there's more to it. But do you feel that Bobby truly feels, and the pundits that feel that this program is turning that corner and trending in the right way to be vying for Pac-12 championships, to be vying in NCAA March Madness year in and year out?
Well, I'll tell you what, and it might be overstating the obvious, but in the world of a transfer portal, in the world of NIL, roster retention becomes more challenging than it ever has been.
Sure.
So I think it just really depends if Arizona State is able to lose very little in terms of pieces, maybe lucky not to lose anything at all, and then really you can judge how Hurley realistically should or should not feel about this roster being better than the season that just ended, and what kind of pieces can he add from the transfer portal himself. I think that maybe the bigger issue over here is Bobby Hurley really getting the support that he needs from Arizona State? When you hear ASU President Dr. Michael Crow just say, I believe it was last week, about him feeling that Desert Financial Arena is an adequate one, that upgrading it is not going to help you win games. I think that was a very, very troubling statement. We know the athletic department leadership at Arizona State is not exactly the most stable one. So I feel that if Bobby Hurley was not going to be here for one reason or another, I think the Arizona State job is much less attractive than people think it is. And bringing a candidate in that would be better than Bobby Hurley, I think would pretty much be a pipe dream. But I feel
Steve
that
is ready.
Hurley, does feel very comfortable. To your point, I think him and his family love it over here. I think he has at least two kids that went out to Arizona State or are still attending, like his son Bobby Jr. So yes, there's a lot of factors that are making Bobby Hurley comfortable here at Arizona State. I think he has a good foundation. But again, transfer portal, NIL, those are two aspects that are absolutely going to determine what this roster is going to be in terms of quality for the next season.
You got 20 seconds. Give me spring football update. Like it, not like it? Was it different than what you'd seen in the past?
No, absolutely. I think the energy and the physicality, especially yesterday being the first practice in pads, was definitely a refreshing change from what we saw last year. Trent Bourget, the returning starting quarterback, is now taking 11 reps. So I feel that we can see a more even judgment level, if you will, in that quarterback battle at Arizona State. But so far, I've been really pleased with what I see from both sides of the ball. And again, the vibe in practice is just night and day than it has been the last few years.
Always good, pal, when we catch up with you. Great info. That's Hode Rubino, ASU, DevilsDigest.com. Thank you, Hode.
Thank you, guys.
All right, now let's head south to Tucson and U of A. And that means Steve Rivera is going to be our guest sports talk show host, Fox Sports 1450 AM in Tucson. Steve, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. I'm real curious. Let's just start. I'm not going to get into how bad the Princeton loss was. We all know it was that bad. But the transfer portal is already happening right now for the Wildcats with Creasa saying goodbye.
Yeah, I was told maybe yesterday it was a 50-50 chance he was going to go in. And, the 50 is that he is leaving, which is not a shock at all. He got a lot of criticism for a long time. In fact, in my time here, I think he's probably the most polarizing player in the last 20 years at U of A because a lot of people loved him and a lot of people didn't.
But that's a lot of talent to just kind of poo-poo away, wouldn't you say, Steve?
Yeah, without question. I mean, he had his ups and downs, but there's a kid named Boswell who everyone talks about. He's only 17, and he had a fantastic first year. So I think they'll be okay without Kerr. They're going to miss the excitement, but other than that, they're going to not miss the inconsistency.
Anybody else that you see entering the portal?
That's a good question. I think we came back from Sacramento thinking that maybe Ball might test it. He did not play very much after having a good first year here, filling in for a couple of injured people, Kyer and otherwise. But I think that he might be the next guy, unless they find a space for him, because he'd be a small three. He can shoot it, so we'll see.
You know, Steve, the other thing you said test it. Back in, a few years ago when this transfer portal started, once you entered, you had to decommit from the school you were at. Is that rule change plenty now, that if you can come in and if you don't get what you want, come back to the school? Or is that up to the school whether to allow you to come back or not?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. That's a good point. I do not know, but I think once they decide to go, at least the people I talked to, they're probably going to just go, because of the circumstances of not playing much. Kerr, I think it's more about maybe moving him to the 2, maybe not hunting the ball, maybe him just finding a better spot, maybe feeling more appreciated. We'll see.
Are people over the loss to Princeton, or is it still digging at fans?
How do you get over that?
I'm just asking. I'm asking Steve.
I mean, my goodness.
Is it November yet?
It's not as if, Steve, they can just go turn to the spring football practice and get over it, man.
That's right. Well, they have that, but how promising is that going to be? So we'll see. I mean, this is the lifeblood of Tucson, the basketball program. When this happened, and I've been to 6 of these now, it's doom and gloom. I was surprised the sun came out, actually.
Well, sky's not particularly falling, at least in Tucson. Well, what was the lessons learned, Steve? Okay, this 2 out of the last 3 years. They've been bumped out early. What lessons are learned under this Tommy Lloyd staff, this Tommy Lloyd-led team?
It's funny you say that, because in my column that day they lost, I think everyone talked about, okay, they learned a lesson, they lost, right? They learned the lesson, they lost to the teams they should have easily beat. And I finally said, and I've said this on the radio a number of times, how many lessons do you have to need to get before you learn a lesson? Well, apparently you need one more than the one they just had, because I don't know if they learned a lesson. And we've been through a number of these before where I've kept to cover first-round losses when they're the higher seed, getting beat by teams that are double-digit underdogs. It's I don't know if you learned a lesson, but my whole thing is I think it's the swagger that they have they should not have a swagger because they're Arizona, but nobody in Schenectady gives a crap that they're Arizona.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah, absolutely. That's an excellent point that you made. All right, pal. Thank you as always. You can always follow Steve on Twitter at Steve Rivera95. Thank you, pal.
Be well, guys. Thank you.
Okay, there you go. All right, now let's go to GCU. And Paul Coro is our guest analyst. You can follow him on Twitter at Paul Coro. Paul, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. Thank you as always. Can you just kind of recap a little bit how the season played out and then how it took place in the tournament as well?
Yeah, there's a point before March where Bryce Drew says, legends are made in March, and what you do there will make people forget about February. And I don't know if that was true for anybody more than GCU, because everything that happened with the ups and downs of the season before then just kind of washed away when they won 6 games in a row and made that, won 4 games in 5 days at the WAC tournament. And, even in the loss to Gonzaga, they had been in the tournament 2 years prior against Iowa, and they lost by the same margin both times, 12. But it felt a little different this time. They threw a scare into it, a top 10 national team. They were leading by 7 with about 5 minutes to go in the first half and only down by 4 at halftime. So, they just showed that they're a lot closer to where they want to be. But what a turnaround of the season for Bryce Drew after losing, your preseason player of the year in January to still wind up going to the big dance.
And that guy you're talking about, Blackshear, phenomenal you guys got so far without Blackshear. That being said, here you got GCU's on the map, okay? We just talked to Steve Rivera down in Tucson about Kurt Kriisa going into the portal. Do you feel that Coach Drew can go after guys in the portal and sell that GCU program to say, hey, look at the excitement, the enthusiasm we have here, and entice them whether you got NIL money or not?
Yeah, and, NIL is a factor, and they're capable of doing that. And but you're right; it makes all the difference in the world. Now Bryce Drew has taken the team to the to the tournament 2 times in 3 years. So no longer are you going out there to say, hey, like, we're trying to get to the tournament. Now you're going out to talk to recruits and saying, hey, we need recruits to go to the next level. We want to be a Sweet 16 team. We want to get past the first round. They played Gonzaga in the first round, and that's who they emulate as a program, to be at that mid-major that's a national brand like, Creighton and Butler and Gonzaga all have. So that's what they'll go and do. But in the meantime, every starter is coming back on top of it.
So how do you build from where you're at right now so you don't have those second half collapses against the big boys per se?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly going to be some areas that they need to bulk up. Probably front court would be one of the big ones. The first time they made the run, they had a big 7-footer in the middle, as we were in Nick Guard and Alessandro Lever, the big Italian, and that's how they got there. This team was more guard oriented and shot threes like crazy. Ended up being 14th in the nation for 3-point shooting. So somewhere in the middle of those two, right? You want to be a great inside-outside team and not just one over the other.
Always good, pal, when you take time, when we catch up with you. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right, you guys have a great day.
There you go. Paul Coral. You can find him on Twitter at Paul Coral, GCU. All right, when we come back, it is our random facts of the day. And Manuch is gone in the Wayback Machine to come up with a couple of beauties. It's going to be fun. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 9.
Win your height in Dos Equis. Head to fanpick'em.com to fill out your Twin Peaks Win 910 on 910 Bracket Challenge. It's never too late. Play as you can win Twin Peaks man cards after every round. That's fanpick'em.com.
Right Toyota, the #1 volume Toyota dealer in the state of Arizona, ensures you a buying experience that will exceed all your expectations. Check it out for yourself. Located just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard in Scottsdale and online at righttoyota.com.
Hey, it's Jody Ayler for Plum Smart Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Did you know when you called the other guys to fix a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem, their technicians are usually trained salespeople? Not Plum Smart. Their technicians are trained to do the best work at the best price possible, which is usually about half the cost of the other guys. So when you call Plum Smart for a free AC tune-up in the month of March, you can trust Plum Smart like I do. Call Plum Smart today, 480-654-8865, or it's just plumsmart.com, because plumbers and AC guys charge too much.
3 little words no parent wants to hear. My tummy hurts. And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words. I feel better. Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple. Mic check. With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker.
Before the job Morant stuff came out and was public, watching that team, Dylan Brooks and Desmond Bain doesn't say a lot as far as I can tell, but he still has an attitude about him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy at all. He seems like a good guy, but they just seem like a young, cocky group of guys.
With Chris Broussard and Rob Parker. Today at 4, tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910. This is The Herd.
The winner in this is also
Colin Cowherd.
Teams not in the Aaron Rodgers sweepstakes are saying they would not give up a first-round pick for him. 2 years ago, Matt Stafford, with a losing record, went for 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and a Super Bowl quarterback, Jared Goff. Aaron Rodgers today, second-round pick, maybe a third-rounder next year condition.
This is The Herd. Tomorrow at 10. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
Blue Jays, Bulldogs, Bruins, and Razorbacks, Hurricanes, Huskies, Owls, Cougars, Wildcats, Aztecs, Spartans, Musketeers, Crimson Tide, Longhorns, Volunteers, 15-seater Tigers ruined your hoop dreams. You got killed, your bracket looks like a crime scene. The Sweet 16.
That's just awesome. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. And everybody's bracket's pretty well blown up. However, listen to what we've got for you. You can jump on our 16-team bracket contest, and you can win a $100 Twin Peaks man card and your height in Dos Equis. You can sign up now. Just go to fanpick'em.com. By the way, speaking of Twin Peaks, we'll be in Tempe tomorrow and in Scottsdale on Friday, and you can come by and say hi at Twin Peaks. Once again, just go to fanpick'em.com. All right, Manuch, let's get to the random fact of the day.
Well, Fairleigh Dickinson's historic win over Purdue garnered 4.37 million viewers on TNT. It is the most watched opening round game on cable since Turner became a March Madness partner going back to 2011. Think about that. Think of all the basketball games here. The opening round, that is the very first one, was Fairleigh Dickinson's historic win over Purdue. That is our Valley Chevy Dealer Random Fact of the Day. The Random Fact of the Day is brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers. Your Valley Chevy dealer serving the Valley for over 80 years. Find new roads at your Chevy dealer. Head to valleychevy.com. That's valleychevy.com. Let's give it a little police blotter.
Okay.
And as we've been,
I'm not in it, am I?
Well, not this time.
Okay, good.
Sure. I'm just making sure Jax isn't in.
Okay,
the young guys. Well, suspended Alabama defensive back that we've been talking about was clocked at 141 miles per hour. Here's the details regarding the actions of suspended member of the Alabama football team, defensive back Tony Mitchell. He was driving. You get your seatbelts on.
Okay.
Hands at 10 and 2.
Yeah.
You get that? Driving 141 miles per hour as he attempted to flee police in Florida last week before being arrested and charged with possession of marijuana and intent to sell and or deliver. According to the arrest report, deputies recovered just under 8 ounces of marijuana and more than $7,000 in cash from the vehicle. Wonder what kind of NIL job that young man's got. The heck?
Good call.
Yeah, we got dealers as part of our NIL deal. Police initially, this is interesting here, guys. Police initially pursued Mitchell after observing him driving 78 miles per hour in a 55 mile per hour zone. Now, think about that. 78 in a 55, and he got up to 141 miles an hour.
Wow.
What was he driving? Did he have some kind of a deal with a Maserati dealer, a Lamborghini dealer, a Porsche dealer, BMW? And this is the quote of the year so far by head coach Nick Saban. He says, quote, "There's no such thing in being in the wrong place at the wrong time," close quote, to kind of take a shot across the bow of the head coach of the Alabama basketball team.
Nate Oates, yeah, after he has Miller still playing, who allegedly delivered a gun to another person who then allegedly shot and killed the person.
I don't know about you guys, but my car at Kansas State University was a Ford 1970.
Okay.
4-door, beige Maverick, no power steerings, no power brakes. The AC and heater barely worked. If it was 20, 25 degrees or 0 degrees, I'd go out and turn the car on, make sure it stayed on, and let it heat up or warm up for a half hour. That bad boy went from 0 to 60. It took it 30 minutes to get to 60 miles an hour. And if I got 60 miles an hour out of that bad boy,
yeah,
I was doing good. This, he's in Florida. Number one, is this the car he's got at Bama when he goes back and forth, driving back and forth.
Amazing.
141 miles an hour. And think about that. I mean, not only are you endangering somebody else on the road if you hit them, yourself, and on top of that, who the hell, where are you getting your pot? Where are you getting all the cash and the stash and all the above? I would say that Tony Mitchell's in a lot of hot water.
I would say so. That's a fair assessment. Speaking of automobiles, this was my story, and I'm not going to give the year, but...
What was your very first car? Very first car in high school?
You mean I didn't have a car?
Okay, what was your very first car?
We didn't have any money.
Okay, what was your very first car?
A 1950 Plymouth with the shift on the column, and I bought it for 3-speed on the column. I bought it for $60, and I put bulk oil in it because it leaked oil all the time.
What year was you bought the 1950 Plymouth?
It was that car was 20 years old when I bought it.
So you bought your first car in 1970.
Yeah.
Was that your first gig at a station or wherever?
No, I was still in college, but I was making money.
And it was probably getting 3 miles to the gallon?
If that. I told you it was $60. I paid $60 for the car. At any rate, later on, when I started working in TV, I bought a new car.
Okay.
And I thought I was really hot stuff, which I still am. But at that time, I was really hot stuff.
Let me guess. Can I guess?
Yeah.
Did you buy a Vet, Jimmy?
No.
Okay.
I've never owned a Vet.
Okay.
But I did buy a Plymouth Duster, and it was that lime green with the 3-speed shift on the floor. It was a 3-speed. Manuch, I beat vets off the line between light to light. That's how good how fast that car was.
A Duster would be like if you go back and look at Gremlins.
No, this sucker would fly.
Yeah, it would fly all right.
So
yeah,
anyway, I'm on my way to go skiing in beautiful Bend, Oregon at Mount Bachelor, and there are open roads in Oregon, and at 6 a.m. in the morning, there's nobody on them.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I'm going to see what this thing will do.
Did you have snow tires on?
No, I did
not.
not.
No chains on?
No chains.
Oh, buddy.
So I let it out on this open area, which I knew was a straight road. I had driven it a lot of times. And I went to 137 miles an hour.
In a Duster?
And the car was still going up, and I backed off. I finally chickened out. I backed off. It's the stupidest thing I ever did in my entire life. I'm lucky to be alive. But I did that, and that car would really, really
a Duster,
fly.
A Plymouth Duster.
Duster. Look it up, buddy.
Was it 3-speed?
On the floor.
Was it a 4-door or 2-door?
2-door.
Oh, that had to be it. That was a 2-door. Jax, what was your very first car?
It was a 2001 GMC Yukon XL. Great car.
Yukon
it was
XL.
It's like a Suburban. Great car. Yep. She's still running to this day at my parents' house.
Wow.
Over 260,000 miles.
Folks, you guys got to remember, my parents probably made 20 grand a year. That was what they probably made. I did not grow up in a...
Would you ride your bike around town?
I rode it everywhere.
Yeah, that's good.
Absolutely everywhere.
Well, you learned some hard lessons, man.
I mean, you did go to Eastern Washington, so...
I got that on a scholarship.
That's funny. Well, I think that Tony Mitchell is... I'd be curious to see if he survives or sits out this year for 1-year suspension and have him do all the stuff that Nick Saban's going to want him to do to get back in the good graces of that program.
There you go. Hey, a quick reminder, we already mentioned we're going to be at Twin Peaks in Tempe tomorrow, and don't forget to tune in at 2:45. Your chance to challenge one of the Twin Peaks girls in the Picks Pick contest for a man card. The Peaks Pick contest for a man card. That's tomorrow, roughly about 2:45. All right, a quick timeout. Rudy Carpenter's going to join us at the top of the hour for NFL football. And right after that, Suns analyst Tim Kempton as well. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's turbo high-output engine, delivering impressive power with no compromised durability. Whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends, this is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet. See your Valley Chevy dealers.
All the radio stations you love, every playlist to match your mood, the podcasts that everyone's talking about. If it's on the iHeartRadio app, it's free. Download the free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio. Hello, Arizona. It's Billy Harfash, host of CEOs You Should Know. I interview the most influential CEOs impacting our economy and our lives. Listen to CEOs You Should Know on the iHeartRadio app or your favorite podcast platform.
Before new Cascade Platinum Plus, I would pre-rinse all my dishes because my old detergent just wouldn't get them clean. But now I do dishes differently. And no pre-wash, no rewash, money-back guaranteed kind of different. Because Cascade Platinum Plus has double the grease fighting power of Dawn built right in, with twice the scrubbing power, giving me a clean that lets me break all the dish rolls. I just scrape, load, and I'm done. Yep. Sorry. With Cascade Platinum Plus, I dare to.
Is Jimmy there to re-record the
If you have certain chronic conditions,
the out to Tim Kempton?
asthma, diabetes,
and you're 19 years of age or older, 52.
I'll do some fill a little bit here.
You may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I'm going to ask my doctor about getting vaccinated
with Prevnar 20.
Lazy Boy Comfort on sale now. Save 25% off Lazy Boy reclining furniture store-wide.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting from the Superbook.com studio. Superbook
take
Sports
programming
now live. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station.
Jimmy, we got time to do this new outro for Kimpton here?
Eastern Conference playoff logjam as they try to pick up a win against the Lakers tonight. It'll be Connor Ingram getting the start in goal for the Coyotes as they take on the Oilers. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910, available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the Parker & Sons Weather Center. For all your AC, plumbing, and electric needs, call Parker.
I'm Celeste Rodriguez with your Fox 10 weather experts. We'll see a high of 63 degrees here on your Wednesday. 40% chance of rain here in the valley, snow in our higher elevations. Thursday, the sun will start to peek through again with a high of 66. Friday, 69.
This report is sponsored by Maricopa Community Colleges.
Save money by getting your bachelor's degree at Maricopa Community Colleges. Now you can start your degree with us and finish it here too. For information on available degrees and participating colleges, visit maricopa.edu/bachelors.
The Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em is back. Win 910 on 910 Bracket Challenge presented by Dos Equis. Win man cards after every round. Win the entire bracket and take home a $910 man card. Plus your height in Dos Equis. Head to fanpick'em.com. Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch is proudly sponsored by On Air Sports Marketing and is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In a wreck and need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900 and always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Third hour. Don't everybody stand up and applaud. We're here till 4. We're going to have a conversation with Rudy Carpenter coming up as well. Manuch, quickly, we've got an update on what the Cardinals are trying to do. So let's get to Jack on this right now. Remember, they're trying to trade a wide receiver, and they thought they might get a 1 or a 2. Jax, what
Who
do
is
you
that
got?
wide receiver, Jimmy?
Who is that wide receiver?
It is DeAndre Hopkins.
That's him.
An update per Albert Breer, who's an NFL reporter for NBC and other NFL network. The Arizona Cardinals will not be able to get their initial asking price of a second-round pick and another asset, whether that's another receiver, another O-lineman, or whatever. He thinks it will be closer to what the Cowboys offered for Brandon Cooks, being a 5th or 6th round pick, or both, a 5th and a 6th round.
What did I say yesterday, guys? The comp was set that if they were going to go above a 5th and 6th rounder, the asking price, well, there's Brandon Cooks. There's our comp. There's our like-kind guy. And then they go, okay, who's a better receiver? Well, they're all pretty damn good. I would say they're the best receivers in the league, even though I think DeAndre Hopkins is better than Cooks. But you think about that, guys. That comp is set. So if somebody is saying, hey, look, if the Cardinals are going, we want a second rounder or a third rounder least, I think the other thing too, guys, does it say anything there, Jax, about rearranging his contract, that being one DeAndre Hopkins and his people?
I didn't see it on the report that I just saw.
Okay, well, we're seeing a lot. That was one of the other stipulations that Ian Rappaport had reported yesterday, that they were looking at a couple different things, readjusting the contract, or restructuring, as you should say, and then whatever the draft choices are that the Cardinals are requesting. Now, if the Cardinals are going to stand pat, are you willing to keep DeAndre Hopkins and just continue to put him out there until June 1st comes and goes? And if you're not going to get the cachet that you want, and he doesn't want to restructure, where are you at? You're basically stuck. Now, he might restructure the contract, which it sounds like they're amenable to doing, because he wants to get paid on his next contract.
Right.
So now if it becomes the draft choices or whoever else you're going to get the compensation, so that other team might go, okay, we'll give you a third, but we're only going to give you this guy or that guy. This is one of those scenarios where the Cardinals, if you really want draft choices and you want to get the type of picks, then you've got to be willing to keep him if you're going to stand pat.
My question to you, Manuch, is why restructure his contract with the Cardinals when you know he's going to be gone? Whereas, do you trade him and then restructure it with the new organization, or does it get more cap room for?
Well, here's it. They want to restructure now. So when they make the trade,
why is that?
Because it makes it more attractive for them on the trade to make a trade. So whoever he goes to realizes, okay, we're going to restructure you now, and then we're willing to pay you on your next contract. Otherwise, how many teams are going to pick up his contract right now? I mean, just straight across. How many teams are going to go, okay, we're going to trade for D-Hop for a fifth rounder and maybe for a bag of balls, or this guy, and then pick up his multi-million-dollar deal, versus, all right, if you restructure to the tune of maybe $12 million per year for the next 2 years, there's a chance for us to go ahead and finally pay you the cash you're looking for on the back end. So it's one of those scenarios when there's restructuring involved. They want that done so they know how much that hit's going to be against their cap. And when they're giving up cachet as far as the picks, they're going to wonder how that all blends. Does that make sense? So it's more of a front end. It's like, hey, Cardinals, you take care of your end. We'll give you the picks if that's truly where they're going to go.
All right, let me follow up with that, Manuch. Are you surprised then with what has just been reported at all, as far as what the asking price the Cardinals were hoping to get to where it is now?
I think it's fair. I mean, if they're looking for I would say a third rounder minimum, but they're saying fifth or sixth round. I mean, I quite frankly think that the trade for Cooks, they gave him away. So that hurt the comp. So think about that. If your neighborhood, let's say your house last time you checked was worth $800,000, but the guy down the street just sold his house, like-kind house, for $500,000. If I'm a neighbor, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
You just hurt my value. I've got to move. So they're looking at the latest comps. That's for $500,000. My house is worth $800,000, but the market says it's only worth $500,000, $550,000, whatever, like-kind houses. So I think what Brandon Cooks did hurt the marketplace, or hurt D-Hop's reps going, what are you doing? Even when Brandon Cooks got traded for the fifth round, I'm like, wow, they basically gave him, that's a low pick. I would have thought at least third round for Cooks, maybe a third or maybe a fourth, somewhere in there. So I don't know if the Cardinals are desperate enough to say, okay, we'll restructure, but a fifth rounder, hell, we might as well keep them and incorporate them. They're not going to get much out of a fifth rounder.
No. Could they get a player along with that fifth round pick?
They get relief with the cap.
Okay.
They
do get that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
But if I'm getting a guy that may or may not make the teams, a long shot, and I get rid of the money, is the cap relief going to be more with maybe getting a fifth rounder?
Well, the way that Bidwell right now seems to be structuring the team, it seems that's not an issue, because he's paying lousy players nothing, and he's signing those guys.
Then if you're going to give them away for a fifth rounder, you restructure. My thought process, why don't you keep them and let them play it out, and then you can either extend him or not extend him, or he becomes an unrestricted free agent, and then or maybe you try to get even more next year. So this isn't a.
You think he'd get more next year?
What's that?
Do you think he'd get more next year?
Not with the Cardinals.
No,
I'm
with you. Yeah.
He's probably becoming more of a tier 2 type receiver.
Okay.
if I were to grade him, 1 to 10, 10 being the best, I'd still put him at 8.5, 9. He's still solid. He catches everything. He doesn't have the home run speed, but he's still, I think DeAndre Hopkins is one of the best receivers in the National Football League.
Catches everything.
Brandon Cooks, I'd probably put him at a 7.
Okay.
He's still damn good. But, these guys are like, okay, so I'll be curious to see how far the Cardinals come off of that draft pick. They want a second or third rounder, which is being reported. I think he's worth a second or third rounder. I quite frankly do.
Okay.
But if nobody else does, with the new comp, the new home that was sold down the street for $500,000.
Yep.
And mine's worth $800,000. And I got to move tomorrow. I'm not selling for $800,000. That's just reality where the comps are right now.
It's unfortunately the way that the National Football League works. Have you heard anything at all since we're doing football? Let's just kind of run around the league a little bit. Aaron Rodgers deal. I still can't seem to figure this out. He says, "Hey, I'm ready to go play," and nothing. It's like crickets.
Again, is how steadfast will Green Bay, to the point we just talked about, are they going to hold firm on what draft choices that they're going to give him? Okay, so you're basically looking at the cash money. Here's the whole thing with that. What is it that the Jets are going to give up trade-wise? The money they can handle.
Mm-hmm.
But if the Packers are saying we demand at least a first and second rounder, one of each, that again, it's in Green Bay's court. How what's the term I'm looking for? How anxious are you to give away Aaron Rodgers? But you're not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, guys. You want to make sure you get what you want. Otherwise, this thing stalls.
Got Rudy.
And that's the kind of thing that you make sure happens.
We talked to you, said Rudy Carpenter was going to join us, former Sun Devil QB and played in the NFL. He's with us right now. Rudy, welcome. It's Jimmy B and Manuch, and we're discussing the National Football League, trying to figure out the Aaron Rodgers scenario as well. Can you get a grasp on why all of a sudden, after he came out and said, "Yeah, I'm going to the Jets," and now it's crickets?
Well, yeah, I think it's a little similar to the DeAndre Hopkins situation a little bit. I think you're talking about organizations that feel as if they have Hall of Fame players. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is most definitely a first ballot Hall of Famer. And I think many people think that when it's all said and done, there's a chance that DeAndre Hopkins can be a Hall of Famer. And those guys don't come on the market all the time. So when they do, obviously these teams are going to have a really high asking price. But unfortunately, for the Packers and for the Cardinals, there's just not a lot of leverage. They obviously want to get a bunch of high picks or really good players in compensation. But at the end of the day, when you're making those kind of deals, it's all about leverage. And when you have the quarterback like Aaron Rodgers coming out and saying, "Yeah, I want out of here. I want to go to the Jets," and there's no other trade partners, and everybody knows the Packers have to get rid of Aaron Rodgers in their mind, there's just no leverage for the Packers. And I think that they don't want to look stupid by getting rid of Aaron Rodgers for, a first-round pick. I think they want multiple first-round picks.
And in the case of DeAndre Hopkins, with this coming out today, Rudy, in reference to that they're not going to get a second and third rounder, the comp set with Brandon Cooks being traded for a fifth rounder and a bag of balls, that's the current comp. I think D-Hop's better than Brandon Cooks, but the comp is the comp. And to your point, okay, Cardinals, there's the latest comp. Where do you want to go from here?
Yeah, and that's really what it is in the Lamar Jackson situation, right? Lamar Jackson has a number in his head that he wants to get paid. It's a guaranteed number. He doesn't need an agent because he feels like, here's what I know. I want $250 million and I want it fully guaranteed. If you guys want to pay that money to me up front, if you want to pay it on the back end, if you want to pay it in the middle, however you want, all I want is my $250 million in guaranteed money. I like the strategy of Lamar Jackson. But again, you're talking about a situation in which most of these teams and owners have come out and colluded with each other and said, hey, listen, what the Browns did for Deshaun Watson was bad business, and it's not something that we want to get into moving forward as owners and guaranteeing these guys contracts. So like anything in life, you know what I mean? It's just all about leverage, you know?
You know, the other thing too, Rudy, is you talked about rep, that he reps himself. I don't know if it's his mother or he has the actual rep now, but that rep's not certified with the league or the Players Association. I'm sure you are certified. Heck, I remember when I was coming through the league, my dad was certified. How much will that affect or not affect if that rep takes over to make sure that he or she is certified?
Well, Dan, let me be honest with you. When you're talking about the NFL certification process to be an agent, there's no doubt that it's complicated. To be an agent's not that difficult, okay? It really isn't. They make it really difficult because of all the jargon and verbiage and nonsense crap they put in these contracts. And it's all about if this, then that, and if this, then that, and if that happens, then this will happen. Mm-hmm. And I really think that's what players are starting to get tired of. I think what players want is they want to be able to say, how many years am I going to be here, and what's the guaranteed dollar amount?
Sure.
Now, I think in Lamar Jackson's situation, all he's saying is, hey, if you want to give me 5 years, if you want to give me 4 years, if you want to give me 6 years, I think whatever it is, and $250 million, I think he believes that he should have something in the ballpark of Deshaun Watson, right? And people keep talking about Deshaun being really the only guaranteed, contract, but that's false. Kirk Cousins did it twice. So, to me, again, people are making a big deal about Lamar Jackson representing himself. And really all I can tell you is, in my business, in the agent world, I tell players all the time, if it was my son, we would hire an attorney, we would pay a one-time flat fee, and we would be done with it. The only part that I think is good to have an agent, if you have a great agent, yes, he understands the market and can help drive up the value, maybe. I think all these teams have a number in their head of what they're willing to pay, and they're not going to go over that regardless of what happens. But the reason, in my view, why an agent is important and necessary is because when you're doing these negotiations, sometimes they can blow up and the player will take it personal.
Sure.
So whenever the team comes back and says, well, we don't want to give this money because of this or because of that or because of this, a lot of times that's a frustrating thing for a player, and he starts to hold, resentments or grudges against his own team and the staff, and that's just something that you can't have. So a lot of times it's good to have that buffer, who's right there, who can kind of, play hardball when he needs to play hardball, but he can also be the nice guy when he needs to be the nice guy. So look, it's an interesting business all the way around. To me, I've always felt like the certification process, Dan, is really just a pay for play. You pay your $5,500, you take the course, you get a certification as long as you pass a test, and it's not difficult. So that's my take on it.
That's a great take, though, Rudy. That's why we love having you on the show. Thank you, as always. You have a great day, pal.
Yeah, sorry, guys, for being late. I have a lot going on, and I really apologize.
No problem.
Never
we
apologize.
Understand there, big fella. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. That's you got it, pal. Thank you. Rudy Carpenter here on Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Hey, by the way, you want to make sure that you join us for the Big Four weekend at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona. 12-year NBA veteran and ASU standout guard Fat Lever is going to Lafayette Fat Lever, I should say, since I know his name. And also, plus 3-time NBA champion and North Carolina Tar Heel, Scott Williams. They are going to join us. We'll have a special question and answer. You can get autographs, pictures taken on both games on Saturday, and then the championship game on Monday. We're going to give away cash as well. There'll be free prop bet taking place, squares, and the first game starts at 3. All you got to do is just go to rockandmanuch.com for all of the details, but we will see you at the CAZ Sports Bar and Sports Book for the Final Four at Casino, Arizona. All right, when we come back, Tim Kempton's going to join us, radio analyst with the Suns. They are in L.A. tonight to play the Lakers. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Are you living paycheck to paycheck only to find yourself going backwards financially each month? Nobody wants to file bankruptcy, but at many times, it's the best choice. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and that it will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. In most cases, filing bankruptcy can improve your credit. At Lerner Law Group, our bankruptcy lawyers only work on bankruptcy cases, and we can file your bankruptcy with $0 down.
Lerner and Roc is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
There is a vehicle on fire, US 60 westbound. This is near Val Vista Drive. It's blocking up the HOV lane, so you want to stay well right. We also have an accident reported, Loop 101 northbound through Scottsdale near Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. And we've got stop-and-go traffic, 10 westbound from the 51 over to 7th Avenue.
This report is sponsored by Total Wine & More. Always find what you love and love what you find at Total Wine & More. With so many bottles to choose from at the lowest price for over 30 years, it's easy to find your favorite Cabernet or a new single-barrel bourbon to try. Total Wine & More. Spirits not sold in Virginia and North Carolina. Drink responsibly. B21.
Need weekend plans to get spring ready? Make Lowe's your weekend destination this spring with Weekending at Lowe's. Stop by for free activities and workshops, including our upcoming Raised Garden Bed Workshop. This month, we're celebrating with fun events like Springfest Egg Venture, where you can enjoy Easter treats for the whole family. Visit Lowe's.com/events for this month's full lineup. Count on Lowe's for all of your home improvement needs. And now, activities in your community with Weekending at Lowe's.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Staples Stores.
D-backs catcher Carson Kelly expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks after suffering a fractured forearm in Monday's spring training game. Guard Care Crease is leaving the Arizona men's basketball program. He'll enter the transfer portal. Connor Ingram in goal for the Coyotes as they take on the Oilers. Another billionaire in the mix for a possible purchase of the Commanders. Canadian businessman Steve Apostolopoulos has taken a tour of the stadium and the team's training facility. I'm Frank Garrity.
During Staples Teach-A-Palooza, teachers save big, or you save, like 20% on all Crayola products, plus 80-count Lysol disinfecting wipes for only $1.99. In-store only, offer ends $3.25 while supplies last. Help your favorite teacher stock their classroom at Staples.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. It is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910, 99.9 FM HD2, and also on the iHeart Radio app. Always on a Wednesday at this time, we have a chance to catch up with Tim Kempton, radio analyst for the Suns. He's in Los Angeles getting ready for the game this evening. Tim, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. Welcome as always. Can you give us any insight? We seem to know that DeAndre Ayton will not play tonight. Have you heard anything yet for the Lakers and Anthony Davis?
No, they teams tend to hold that stuff tight. And right now, Anthony Davis, they haven't given us any indication. So we'll probably find out when we get to the arena. But as of right now, they have not shared anything with us. So no DeAndre, no Kevin Durant, and no LeBron. And we're still up in the air with Anthony Davis.
And in reference to DA, hip injury, quad, all the above, are they hoping to just one of those day-to-day scenarios there, Tim?
Yeah, it actually, you can go back and see where he did it. He was going up for a rebound, and he got kneed in his upper thigh, kind of contusion area there.
Right.
So it wasn't anything that, it wasn't a strain or anything. So that's good. It was more of a contusion. It came from a hit, other than a strain or a sprain or him stretching it, or a bad step one way or the other. Right. Just taking a hit to the upper quad there. So we'll see how that plays out. Staying home, taking care of it with the training staff in Phoenix.
All that being said, and not knowing if Davis is going to play at tip or not, is it going to be either Landale or Biyombo back at the center position, depending on whether he starts or not?
Well, what happens with Monty? He likes to keep his units together. So as we saw in the last game, he'll probably start Bismack Biyombo so Jock Landale can stay in his role with Cameron Payne and those guys coming off the bench, which has been a bright spot as of late. It seems like they've got their mojo back a little bit. Cameron Payne pushing it, playing with aggression. Jock Landale doing his normal stuff, the pick and rolls, getting on the offensive glass, and knocking down an occasional three. So I would expect Bismack Biyombo to start again and Jock Landale to come off the bench in his normal role.
And I know, Tim, when you look at Biyombo, Craig, and Okogie in the last game, only 22 points between the three of them. One of those three's got to pick up, I would think, so that Devin Booker doesn't have to score another 46 or 50 points, I would imagine.
Yeah, you love more balance. Obviously, Devin Booker, he can go and get, 25, 30. But, yeah, it's always nice when he's getting his 25 and 30 because he's got room to work because those guys are making shots. Josh Okogie in the short corner, and crashing the offensive glass. The same thing with Torrey Craig. Those guys have to make, take and make the shots that when they come to them to keep the pressure on the defense and also keep the pressure off Devin Booker, because if those guys aren't making shots, all of a sudden the defense is leaning towards and shading more towards Devin Booker. So it becomes more difficult for him. He's been playing at a great rate. His efficiency numbers are phenomenal right now, but you'd like more constant, consistent help from those other guys when he's on the floor.
Tim Kempton is our guest on the Wright Toyota guest line. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. Tim, take me back to OKC following that game. Head coach Monty Williams, he was pretty bent out of shape, and rightfully so with some of his post-game comments. He just felt that they're just giving up way too much, and they're giving up easy baskets. Lakers have changed their entire dynamic with the trades that they made. How is all that going to play into tonight's game?
Yeah, Monty's just upset with pure basketball 101. You miss your shot, get your butt back on defense, turn around, and communicate. And that's one thing that OKC really hammered the Suns, even on made buckets by the Suns. OKC was getting the ball out and pushing it up against them, and they were by the Suns, and it was just for one of the few times this year, you talk about hustle, determination, and desire, and Oklahoma City had it more than the Phoenix Suns, especially in that second half. The Suns looked like they were playing well. They were on the road. They had the game under control, but as we talked about before, it's 48 minutes, and a young athletic team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, you give them a breath of fresh air, you give them a little confidence, and it's off to the races for those guys. So, yeah, that's where the frustration comes in. You understand that, some nights teams are just going to be hot, but when you give them easy buckets and you don't make them work on the offensive end, that's where the frustration comes in for the coaching staff.
And how frustrated is Monty with campaign? He has two really good games. 5 points the other night. I mean, is the consistency going to be a factor to keep him on top? Because that scoring with Ross and or Shaman or whomever has got to get a little bit more beneficial, like it was 3 weeks ago, and you said they were averaging close to 40 points per game off the bench.
Yeah, that's definitely a factor. You can, we're assuming that Kevin Durant's going to be back in the lineup for the playoffs with DeAndre and Booker and Chris Paul. Those guys you think are fine. They're consistent. They're playing very well. They know how to play together. But, yeah, the bench is going to be key in the playoffs because, as we know, you can't play 48 minutes. The game slows down. It gets physical, so you need a little rest from that. So, yeah, like Cameron Payne, Jock Lindell, Torrey Craig, those guys need to be just themselves. Nothing crazy. But Cameron Payne's got to be consistent. He's got to push the ball, get into the paint. Take his shots when they're there, and he's got to make them at a normal clip. He can't go over in situations because then the bench doesn't do enough, and then the starters come back in, and they have to fight an uphill battle. So they need some consistency out of those guys, and that's something that you hope develops over these last couple of weeks. You keep putting them out there, and you keep playing those guys so they get their confidence going into the playoffs because you want to be playing solid, consistent basketball when you get into the playoffs.
Tim, the term shooter versus scorer. So when you look at Ross and Shamet, you look at those two that need to score more or is capable of scoring more versus being that fine shooter. Shamet hit 4 out of 5 threes of the night. Who's that guy you go to? Who's the guy you go to if you got to get somebody off the bench to take that final shot?
Well, you look at it, Damian Lee, Terrence Ross now are guys that you see can not only make the three, but also get into the lane and finish well. So one of the things that we've talked about this team all year long is its depth. Now it's been tested, with injuries, with different lineups, guys in and out, now Kevin Durant. But hopefully, at the end of the year again, when everything is set straight, you have your 5 starters, and then you go to your bench, and your bench is where you can kind of mess with a little. Okay, this guy's not good tonight. Let me try one of these other guys and try to get balance there. So you have depth off your bench, and hopefully that bodes well in the playoffs. If one guy doesn't seem to have it on one night, you go to the next guy, and you throw Ish Wainwright in there as well. He was shooting the ball extremely well, and then last game in Oklahoma City just couldn't find the range.
Mm-hmm. I'm real curious how the matchups are going to take place tonight. I know Austin Reeves had a career game the other night. He scored 35 in the Lakers win. This is a guy who went undrafted and has turned into a more than serviceable NBA player. But they have other capable players with D'Angelo Russell. How are they going to defend against this Laker team tonight?
Well, I think it's, again, just get back to your basics. Quit getting beat off the dribble. First and foremost, get back in transition defense. Don't give up easy buckets to this team. Make sure they work offensively, and then just match up and stay in front of them. Whether it's Josh Okogie on Reeves, that'd be a good matchup. Devin Booker, when he's locked in, has size and quickness to stay in front of Reeves. So just do what you're capable of doing. Stay within your framework. But the easiest thing is to get back in transition and not give up easy buckets. And that's where teams like this gain confidence. They see the ball go through, they get excited, they get running up and down the court. Don't give them the opportunity to make plays. Make sure that they have to make plays, that they have to make tough shots over an outstretched hand, that they don't have free lanes to the basket. Just play solid against these guys and don't give them anything easy to get their confidence going.
Tim, I hear you saying a lot of have tos. It sounds like the have to get in the win all these games mode as well. At least, what I look at it. But are they in a have to win mode these last 11 games?
Well, obviously you want to win as many as you can, and it's also for seeding. Right now they're in 4th, but they're not that far from, that 7th position. So if someone gets hot, goes, 8-3, 9-2, and you're around 5-6 or 6-5, someone's going to gain some ground on you. So the have to is just, hey, we're a good team. Let's play our kind of style basketball. Let's lock in defensively and make teams react to us. You should be reacting to the LA Lakers. They're a team that struggled all year long. They're shorthanded. Obviously, no LeBron. Anthony Davis may be banged up again. So go out there and play your game. Make the Lakers react to you. Obviously, you got Sacramento next on Friday night. Then you got Philly on the back-to-back on your home court. So it's a tough schedule. You got 2 more times with the Denver Nuggets. So have to is a tough scenario when you're sitting in 4th position. But yeah, you want to win games. You're the 4th best team in the Western Conference. You want to come out and show that at the end of the year as well.
Tim, we stream our show on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I got to tell you what, here there's Tim Kempton, former Suns legend and current radio analyst, and there you are dribbling the ball. The defender's got his back to him, but you're hooking his left arm going to the hoop, and I'm like, there's that veteran move right there. You don't see much of that going to the hoop and hooking that arm, that left arm of that defender going to the hoop like that. It's a great shot. I'm like, damn, Kempton did know what the hell he was doing back there down low.
Well, what do you think they hired me for? Do you think I'm a color analyst for a reason? Give me a little bit of help here, fellas.
Here's the thing. Hell, you should be on the floor with these moves like that. You should be down there banging a little bit. Fire these guys up down low.
I wouldn't last too long with today's rules and the officials, the way they blow the
game. You think that Irish temper would get involved there somewhere, Tim?
No, not at all. I'd be cool, calm, and collected. I'd just be sitting on the bench.
It's always great, pal, when you take time with us.
Stay dry over there, big fella.
Yeah. Do you need a boat to get to the arena?
I'm telling you, it is definitely wet, and there's no end in sight. We'll be here. I think Sacramento's wetter than LA, so it definitely is a galosh night. We bring the rain clothes with us on this trip.
All right, enjoy the game tonight. We'll be listening. Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
There you go, Tim Kempton, as always, driven by All City Towing, and they continue to grow because they are hiring. That's right. All City Towing is looking for good people. Are you looking for a new gig? Well, just go to allcitytowing.com/careers. That's allcitytowing.com/careers. That's All City Towing. They are Arizona's largest towing, transport, and vehicle provider. Once again, it's allcitytowing.com. Well, we all know the NCAA tournament resumes tomorrow. One of our favorite times of the year for college basketball. Former NAU head basketball coach Mike Adris is going to join us, and he is next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
What's trending on Fox Sports 910 Phoenix?
Bobby Hurley's not going anywhere. The Arizona State men's basketball coach agrees to a 2-year contract extension. Not the same for guard Kerr Kriisa. He's leaving the Arizona men's basketball program to enter the transfer portal. Diamondbacks catcher Carson Kelly is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks after suffering a fractured forearm in Monday's spring training game. The Suns continue their push to emerge from the Western Conference playoff logjam as they try for a win against the Lakers tonight. Connor Ingram will be the man in goal for the Coyotes as they take on the Oilers this evening. I'm Frank Garrity on Fox Sports 910. Available everywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
This is the My Guy Referrals Weather Center. Visit myguy.com for 5-star local referrals. Make My Guy your guy.
I'm Celeste Rodriguez with your Fox 10 weather experts. We'll see a high of 63 degrees here on your Wednesday. 40% chance of rain here in the valley, snow in our higher elevations. Thursday, the sun will start to peek through again with a high of 66. Friday, 69.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's. 2 for $6. The best deal in fast food. When you want the best deal on the best meal, choose Wendy's 2 for $6. Pick from Dave's Single, Spicy Chicken Sandwich, 10-piece Crispy Nugs, or a medium strawberry lemonade. Pair any two for just $6. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's 2 for $6.
Looking for a change in your career? All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings now available in customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch.
I forgot to turn it down after the interview.
allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7.
Keeping you on your toes, Manuch, you know.
Sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and
I'm convinced by the time in like 25 years I'm going to lose my hearing between all the NASCAR races I've been to.
Won platinum and gold medals and are now listed.
I was at the Taylor Swift concert over the weekend. And that place was one of the loudest places I've ever been in.
7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com. Break out the Bandito with the official tequila of game day.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B at Twin Peaks for all the college hoops action presented by Dos Equis. Enjoy ice-cold Dos Equis as you watch the games at any of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations. Check out rocandmanuch.com for more details.
Make plans to join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B for their Big 4 weekend at the CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. 12-year NBA veteran and ASU standout Fat Lever, plus 3-time NBA champion and North Carolina Tar Heel Scott Williams. Join the guys for a special Q&A during the between both Saturday games. Win cash during all the games. 2 on Saturday and on Championship Monday with free props and squares. First game starts at 3. Details at rocandmanuch.com.
The Venture X card from Capital One gives you premium travel benefits, perfect for seeing Taylor Swift The Eras Tour. Presented by Capital One. Oh,
Mike's ready.
Earn 5 times miles on flights and 10 times miles on hotels through Capital One Travel.
Enjoy your stay in Suite 13.
Whoa, 13? That's Taylor's lucky number. The Venture X card from Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It's Tim and Ben. How would you like to win a trip for 2 to Las Vegas? Airfare plus 2-night stay at the Westgate Las Vegas, home of Superbook Sports. It's simple. Just enter your name, and Superbook Sports has got your Vegas getaway covered.
You can enter to win at knxcountry.com keyword contest. And if you want bonus entries, make sure you download the Superbook Sports app after your submission. And right now, Superbook Sports will even match up to $250 when you sign up and deposit today.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
This family takes turns turning heads. Brains, beauty, and athleticism. All they need now is for you to drive them off the lot. The Mercedes-Benz family of SUVs. A family of unrivaled vehicles waiting at your local dealer.
Gets it in for Fierro. Puts it up. And it's over. Kansas State came out of nowhere this season. And now it's on to the Sweet 16.
Oh, man. Of course, we'd have to have a K-State highlight. Thank you, CBS. Good golly, Manuch. Couldn't you give me something other than K-State?
Here's the thing.
How about Alabama? How about Texas?
We were ranked.
Houston.
We were ranked to be number 12
Yeah,
in the
I
Big 12 conference.
Yeah.
And the Jerome Tang, man, the Tang, we had the Tang from back in the day, stirred in the drink.
Yeah, well,
here we go from Baylor, and we are all set, led by that phenomenal guard, Noel. Lead it down the charge. That's my best Bill Walton. I'm going to give you right there.
Oh, God, just turn his mic off and let Mike Adris and myself communicate and talk real basketball, will you, please? Mike joins us right now, the Sweet 16 and then the Elite 8. Mike, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. How are you, pal?
Every man a Wildcat, Coach EMAW.
Boy, I tell you what, guys. Let's go with the outer space. What's the drink of outer space?
Tang.
The astronauts.
Tang.
That's what they drink.
That's
Tang,
exactly
baby.
that's right,
Tang.
man.
Let's
Tang.
go with it.
Stir it up, and you're good to go.
Hey! Let me tell you something. If Marquise Noel isn't your most favorite player that's in this tournament right now, I don't know who is. I mean, that kid. Single-handedly, I felt won the game the other day for him, and he's fun to watch. He's hard-nosed. Who would have thought that a guy that's, come on, he's listed at 5'8", Manuch, is he even that tall? I mean, come on.
Well,
really.
if he's got Jimmy's platforms on, he is. It just depends.
Jimmy, are you styling today?
No, man, I'm always styling. You know that. I told them the other day I could post up Muggsy Bogues.
Yeah, but could you win a dunk contest like Muggsy?
Muggsy did not win the dunk contest. That was Spud Webb. And
oh, that's right.
Yeah, and Spud had a 48-inch vertical.
Hey, Jimmy B, all you vertically challenged individuals, you're all the same, okay? That's just how it
I never
goes.
said I was vertically challenged. I could dunk a tennis ball. I did. I dunked a tennis ball in college.
But Coach, think of all the stories. You think of Jerome Tang. He's at Baylor, 95 years for crying out loud. And now that he's got our Wildcats prowess, everybody's like, oh, watch out. Texas is coming for him. And I'm like, no way, man. I got cousins that live in Manhattan, Kansas. They're not getting nowhere near one Jerome Tang, that's for sure. And then Marquise Noel. I mean, the stories within the stories, Coach, going into the Sweet 16. And then there's Princeton, the 4-1 for crying out loud. How they doing it?
Well, everybody hears Princeton and they think that they're playing like the Pete Carril Princeton. That is not how they're truly playing. I mean, they are controlling the game. They are very methodical, but they're not playing, run the backdoor offense every single possession. I like how this team plays, to be honest with you, and they do it like everybody who's gotten to this point. Their defense is terrific. They lull you to sleep a little bit because, when you have that little orange pill, it's an energy source. And if you control the time of possession of the game, it's amazing how your players have so much energy than your opponent does. And to Princeton's credit, they do rebound the basketball. And when you limit teams, listen to Charles Barkley talk one time. He'll tell you if you don't rebound the basketball, you're in big trouble. And if you can limit teams to one shot each possession, man, all of a sudden those possessions become a lot more difficult for them because they're so worried. I mean, you watch the Purdue team. They had guys that didn't want to shoot the ball because every possession was so critical out there and stuff. And I don't know. I'm hoping that we're going to see teams play a little bit looser. You think that it gets tighter as the tournament goes on, right? The pressure mounts on them, but I think the getting to this point is maybe a relief, and now we can just we're good enough. We got to this point. let's play like we're capable of playing, and hopefully these games will open up a little bit. But give Princeton credit, because they do dictate how the game is going to be played. You don't dictate to them how it's going to be played.
Coach, but don't you think, all that being said, you've been schooling us now for many, many years about guys when it comes down to it. It's about rebounding, as you mentioned, but rebounding in the clutch time. It's about going down low. It's about making your free throws. My gosh, what a mystery that is for some of these games. But it's just the basic fundamentals. And then you brought this up maybe even 3 years ago when we had a lot of one and dones. It's the senior or veteran leadership which will trump, pardon the pun, any of the one and done teams that we see on a consistent basis. So if that's already ingrained in a team, I guess why does it still surprise us they move on deeper into the NCAAs?
That's a great point, and I wouldn't argue that. I mean, there is a lot to be said for the experience that some of these teams have. Look at Tennessee for a second. To be honest, I didn't think that they would get this far. I didn't see them getting this far because they lost such a key player on their team, their point guard. But when you have other players who have been there with you and have bought into what you're doing team conceptually, man, they're still a very good team and still very tough to knock out. And I like seeing what I'm seeing from them all of a sudden. I loved them about 6 weeks ago. They were my team that I thought could win it all, and then that injury came about, and they tripped on themselves for a bit. But I think they've kind of reestablished how they want to play, and that's so important. And I could talk to you till I'm blue in the face about the importance of making free throws.
Oh my gosh, Coach! The lost art, right? We're crying out loud.
Coach, take me to what I consider to be the premier game for tomorrow night, and that is Gonzaga and UCLA. I want to see how Jaquez does against the Zags, and I want to see how Drew Timme does against UCLA. This is a monster matchup, and I can't wait to watch it. How do you see it?
Well, it's going to be a great game, and I do agree with you. Both teams were just in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago for their conference tournaments. UCLA has played in T-Mobile Arena, so they're very comfortable with the environment that you get there, right? So they're both settling back into an area that they're very, very comfortable. Huge in how this game is going to get played out. And then you're looking at the superstars, right? You're looking at Jaquez, you're looking at Timme, and both teams know that they need those two guys to play exceptionally well. If you take Timme out of his game, Gonzaga's in big trouble. Let's be honest about that, right? If you take Jaquez out of his game, big trouble. So I think you'll see that as a key focal points for how both teams are going to approach it. Both coaches are outstanding at game planning and highlighting things that they want to get done in the matchup. And I think you'll see both teams try to figure out how they can stop those guys. If those guys are that good, those guys are hard to stop. The other theory on that is, okay, let them do what they do and let's prevent everybody else. So I don't know what strategy those coaches will do, Mick or Mark, but it'll be one or the other. Either take their best player out or let's take everybody else out and just know that we can't take their best player out. I hope that makes sense to you.
No, it did, Coach. Absolutely. It's always great, man, when you're on the show. We love breaking down March Madness with you. Thank you, pal, and you have a great day.
Enjoy that K-State game tomorrow, fellas. Talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
That's Mike Adris, former head basketball coach at NAU, and he is our big college basketball insider. Okay, so your brackets are done. Okay, you're busted. So now is the time to get in on our 16-team bracket contest. $100 Twin Peaks man card you can win, and your height in Dos Equis. Want a little refreshment? Dos Equis will work just fine. That's right. It is a 16-team bracket contest. All you got to do is just go to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com and get signed in. By the way, Manuch, where are we going to be tomorrow?
Tomorrow we'll be at Twin Peaks in Tempe, and then on Friday we'll be at the Scottsdale Twin Peaks.
Sounds like a plan to me. So you can always drop by and say hi to us at either of those Twin Peaks locations. Okay, quick timeout. When we return, it's our Lerner and Rowe one call. That's all. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910.
Valley traffic from the Valley Toyota Dealers Traffic Center.
There is stop-and-go traffic, I-10 westbound from State Route 51, the mini-stack over to 7th Avenue. We've got slow traffic, 17 northbound from the 10 split over to Adams. Vehicle fire cleanup situation, US 60 westbound near Val Vista still has the HOV lane blocked. That's a look at the roads.
This report is sponsored by University of Arizona Eller College of Management.
If you're looking for hot Ford product, Peoria Ford has it all in stock. Raptors, Broncos, Mavericks, Mach-E's, Lightnings. Come get your vehicle today. It's for immediate delivery. See my inventory at PeoriaFord.com.
Join Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B every Thursday as they broadcast live 1 to 4 from one of the Fort Valley Twin Peaks. Tune in at 2:45 for Peaks Picks to win a man card. For this week's location, head to RocandManuch.com. That's Thursdays at Twin Peaks.
I'm attorney Kevin Rowe, here to tell you the biggest thing I've learned about insurance companies over the years, and it's really simple. They don't care about you. That's it. Insurance companies are publicly traded companies who have an obligation to their shareholders to deliver profits. They have teams of investigators, adjusters, and lawyers all working against you from the moment you call them, and they want to pay you as little as possible for your injuries. Hurt in a wreck? Don't be a victim of the insurance companies. Call Lerner and Rowe today.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. Just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. And online at WrightToyota.com.
Golfers, tee it up at Vans Golf Shops for the hottest new arrivals from Titleist. Check out the new Pro V1 golf balls designed for longer distance, more consistency, and unrivaled control. Swing by Vans Golf Shops and elevate your game with the new TSR Woods, engineered faster, longer, and straighter. Come in and get custom fit for free today. Vans Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee, unmatched service, unmatched expertise. Hey, it's Jody Ayler for Plum Smart Plumbing, Heating, and Air. Did you know when you called the other guys to fix a plumbing, heating, or cooling problem, their technicians are usually trained salespeople? Not Plum Smart. Their technicians are trained to do the best work at the best price possible, which is usually about half the cost of the other guys. So when you call Plum Smart for a free AC tune-up in the month of March, you can trust Plum Smart like I do. Call Plum Smart today, 480-654-8865, or it's just plumsmart.com, because plumbers and AC guys charge too much.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
It's the Lerner and Rowe one call, that's all. Call of the day. If you're looking for a full-service law firm, just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900.
Connor McDavid.
Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
Trout's ready. 3-2. He struck him out. Ohtani strikes out Trout, and Japan's back on top of the baseball world.
And thank you to Fox Sports 1 for that last night. Absolutely spectacular, riveting baseball game. And it meant nothing in the grand scheme of things, except it meant the world to those players and fans. Unbelievable. That is our Lerner and Rowe one call. That's all. Just call 602-977-1900. Always at lernerandroad.com. Once again, one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. Now let's get to what's on tap.
Yeah, the Suns at 7 o'clock on ESPN tonight, folks. Big Boy Network, the four-letter network. It'll be a good game as they take on those Lakers. Still don't know if Anthony Davis is playing or not. We know that DeAndre Ayton is out for this game. And then the Yotes are at the Edmonton Oilers. That's a 7:30. They'll drop the puck on TNT. One of those very rare times that the Yotes are on TNT.
All right, let's get now to the State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day.
Well, have the Suns found themselves in a must-win situation with the last 11 games? You can still go to @Roc and Manuch on Twitter. The answers are yes, they need the momentum, or no, they are fine. Well, currently, yes, they need the momentum. That is at 80%, folks. And no, they are fine. So a lot of folks are feeling that, you know what? They better get on the Bigfoot and get this thing going and try to garner that momentum. We had a chance to break down the schedule. Jax broke it down. We kind of gave our picks. I went, I think, 8-3. No, I went 9-2. Jimmy, you went 8-3. I think it's vital. And I think last 4 games would be probably that opportunistic time for one Kevin Durant to come back, get back in the flow of things, and start to make some of the things happen.
And that is your State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question, Arizona's top roofer. You can find them on Twitter at Roc and Manuch on that page as well. And no matter the State 48 Roofing, they do an amazing job. From a free quote, repair, or installation, you need to check out State 48 Roofing. Fastest way to get a trained technician to your home or business, state48roofing.com. That's state48roofing.com.
If I could, we thank our guest, Tim Kempton, join us this afternoon. He's over in LA. Our campus quickies, Hode Rubino, also Steve Rivera and Paul Coral. Rudy Carpenter joined us here in the last hour. And you just heard Mike Adris, former NAU head coach. By the way, he'll join us on Friday as well at 3:30. Tomorrow, Twin Peaks in Tempe Marketplace.
Can I come?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Rick Coral will be talking about the business side of sports. Ryan Leaf, get his thoughts on what's going on in the National Football League or not going on in free agency. Ted Robinson from the Pac-12 Network to talk about UCLA and Gonzaga. And then last but not least, Howard Balzer, all things NFL and all things Arizona Cardinals. Mañana from Twin Peaks in Tempe.
Thank you to Richie in the studio. Jax, as always, for keeping us on the air, because